This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening, everybody. 7 o'clock on the dot. For once, we started right on time. We'll see how the rest of the 3 hours goes.
Shit show.
Yeah, could be. You never know. Hi, everybody. It's the show. It's Q Talk America. I am Clayton McKee. This, as usual, aside Kat Carlson, Al Perkins, and Marnie Ryer will be here as soon as she gets here.
At her leisure.
We don't like to rush her.
No.
She doesn't like
She doesn't
pressure.
do well in the rush. No.
Not the pressure and all that. Well, hi, kids. Guess what? It is the 14th day of April 2015. This is show number 211. And I actually almost forgot about it, but Al brought it to my attention. This is the 3rd year anniversary of this little dog and pony show we call The Show.
Yeah, sometime this week. It was like
Wow.
The 17th.
Yeah.
So Friday would actually make our 3-year.
Well, happy anniversary.
That means 100.
To you and to you too.
As a listener turned contributor turned shit show participant.
So we've done 148 shows total to date.
Wow.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot.
Yeah, it
I
is.
feel like that's kind of a lot.
Well, it is compared to everybody else who ditched the network. So we're
Everybody
just
else
moving
had
on.
8 episodes.
Comparatively,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And you could only stand to listen to about 4 of them before you hurt small children. There was a show or two that made me like just violently angry for how bad it was.
There was one that I liked. Fabulous show. Can't remember the name.
Well,
The political show.
Oh,
The Agenda.
The Agenda. I like
with
that.
Kathy Young and
Wininger.
Rebecca Wininger.
Yes.
Yeah, they were fun.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
there were a few times that I thought you would listen and you almost were going to drive down and chime in with them at the studio back where we used to be.
Yeah.
Because and clearly, I think when we were doing that, it was political season for 14. No, 12. Wait.
For 12, yeah.
For 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
They run up to and a little past the election.
Yeah. Which obviously we have a lot of political things to talk about in this evening show because a lot happened in this past week.
Yeah, people just got the message about shit or get off the pot. And
Yeah.
getting off the pot seemed to be the thing to do.
Yeah.
It's very busy out there.
Upsetting 3-year-old children who wanted to run instead of Hillary, crying in bed about it, but they'll get over it. A little young to run. But hey, it's all right.
Sure.
But yes, here we are, kids. Welcome to it.
2 Cubans and a woman.
What?
Carl Rove must be shitting his pants.
Although there's a lot of people out there, I think, right now, shit their pants.
I feel like I'm waiting for the punchline there, though.
I know.
2 Cubans and a granny walk into a bar. There's got to be a punchline there somewhere.
He's got to be thinking, if they'd only let me back on the Bush compound, I could get another president out of that family.
Motherfucker. That's one thing this world does not need.
Well, it doesn't need Karl Rove either.
No. But we certainly don't need another Bush for
I mean, maybe for
president.
medical science and experimentation.
Even so, I think your results are going to be a little
Yeah,
skewed.
exactly.
You want to choose actual humans for those kind of experiments.
Answers may be skewed due to internal hate of others and
Combustion.
Sure. Well, anywho, by the way, for those of you not in the Phoenix area, this is our last week we talked about Pride was coming up. Well, guess what?
Okay, Pride.
Came and went, and Kat and I suffered through almost all of it together.
We sure did. We had a wonderful time hanging out together.
Saturday was a challenge for us. Got through that. But Sunday, we kicked off Sunday in a fantastic way.
Sunday was delightful. I'm excited for that to be a yearly
I
thing.
think it will be. I mean,
Yeah.
because Katie and I always did it, but it was just more fun to have A, somebody else plan it, and B,
by playing it, you mean made a Facebook event.
Right.
Right, but I didn't have to.
Hey.
But you already work at the bar. I didn't have to reach out to anybody, do anything, say anything, blah, 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 blah.
I didn't either. I said, hey, Jeff, here's what I'm doing. And he looked at me and was like,
Yeah.
okay.
No?
Oh,
Did you lock the door?
Did somebody yell? Oh, I may have locked her out. Would you go check on her?
Yeah, I feel like
Hang on. I think we may have locked Marnie out of the house.
I feel like I hear screaming.
In an effort to keep her off the show permanently, we've just simply locked the doors of Studio C to keep her out.
I feel like that would be effective. I feel like.
Nah, she knows my phone number.
Well, she doesn't have a key, though.
No, I tried to limit the keys to
Phones have silent.
my mom and Matt and
Actual residents.
well, some people, yes. They know where the hide the key is. It doesn't make any difference. Anywho, well, hi,
Hi,
Marn.
Pumpkin.
Welcome into the show. Don't know. So anywho, but the Kat Carlson Memorial pre-parade party.
which is challenging to say, as it turns out.
It was easier to say half loaded on Sunday morning at the thing. So that was a good time.
My favorite was the people that showed up were all into it. They're like, yay. Carlson Memorial VIP.
But how many people showed up and were surprised you were alive?
Actually, none, because I think everybody's kind of in on the joke now because I've had to explain it so many times. I love that in just a short amount of time, like the sky's the limit, really. But in just 6 months, the Cat Carlson Memorial VIP franchise has gone from 4 lawn chairs behind a beer tasting tent.
Where most good ideas come from.
Yes.
That's an origin story that's similar.
Nearly Pride sanctioned events.
Oh God, you're gonna go that far? Nearly Pride sanctioned.
Well, sure, because
It was nearly.
I was near to Pride and I was related to Pride. I feel like they're gonna get on board.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
all right.
It's my new mission in life to name the VIP experience the Cat Carlson Memorial VIP Lounge.
And your namesake, your name twin, is about to jump into the presidential race too. It should be next Monday. Dr. Ben. Carson.
Dr. Ben Carson?
Yeah, he should be coming up this week or early next week.
Well, we need as many fucktards.
And I like when they're like, I have a big announcement to make. Is it that you're radioactive? Like, what is it you're going to tell us?
Surprise us with something.
Right.
What are we going to be shocked about here?
I know.
You're an idiot?
There's a big announcement coming. Just wait and tell us. You know what I mean? Wait till it's a surprise then.
You know what I'm really excited about now then?
What?
Are the parody videos that I clearly have to make.
Right.
Being Dr. Ben Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
How you became gay in prison.
Right.
And black.
Yeah.
And black.
And they all start
And
with,
male.
You might know me as Dr. Ben Carlson on the hit podcast,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Show with Clayton McKee. Yeah.
Sure.
I've got a big surprise announcement. I'm not the
my
dumbass running
God.
for president.
The parody videos are going to be amazing. I can't
You're going to
wait.
be busy
And
with your selfie stick.
I got a new phone, so they're going to be even
Oh,
better.
Christ. Yeah, they're higher quality.
I know.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's
Those
pretty. Is it
pictures
the
are
new
nice.
6?
That's the new 6 Edge. It's the curvy one.
Oh, it does. It looks like a zero.
I
It
know.
looks like an infinity pool or a zero edge pool.
Because here's what happened. My husband, Jason Carlton, the Lady Carlston, if you will,
Yes.
went ahead when I worked with him.
Strangely appropriate.
Yeah, when I worked with him on Saturday, like waved his new Galaxy 6 in front of me. I was like, look, I got a new phone. But then pretty boy from the Jack Dice next door was like, oh, well, you like that? Here, look at this. And showed me the Edge. And I was
Christian
instantly-
Smalley has the edge?
I don't know anybody's name.
Okay. Well, he was the
But
prettiest of all of them.
let's say it's him.
Sure.
With the good hair?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, whatever.
One of the pretty ones next door. They were all kind of pretty. I don't know.
No, you weren't looking real good.
I wasn't looking at anybody that close.
Hey, Bear and a Nant and a Nant.
But yeah, so they teased me with their
Clayton,
fancy
Mama Don.
phones, so I got up yesterday afternoon and decided to go on quite the journey.
Now, you said that you had some letters to write to Verizon. You were not happy. So can you, in a brief half hour, tell us what happened?
So here's what
Katie
happened.
June this fucker. We can be here until tomorrow.
Oh, but it came back. I got up yesterday
'Cause it loves
afternoon
you.
and decided, yes, it's time for a new phone. And I'm on that weird lease thing where you do like $30 a month to try and pay off the phone, and then when you're ready to upgrade, you just pay the difference and fuck it, you're done, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the never-ending billing cycle. Is what that is. Yeah.
Never-ending story.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't care because I legitimately have to have a new phone every year. In fact, it's been 11 months since I last upgraded my phone.
Okay.
Right.
So we're due.
So it's exactly leasing the phone is totally the good thing for me to do.
All right.
Like if I was a new car every year kind of a person.
Right, and
Right.
I feel your pain. 'Cause
Yes.
This is the longest I've kept a car. Like, I've only kept a car this long once before.
Right. So I decided it was new phone day, and a friend of mine is the manager for all the Samsung sales at Best Buy's, and so I was like, oh, well, I'll go give Best Buy a try. I usually just go to the Verizon store, but I'll go see Best Buy, and I toddle on down there, and, you know, I asked him about how much I would really owe, and we talked about the money, and I decided that was an okay thing, and I could do that. And I said, okay, let's do it. Give me the phone. I want a white one. I want the 32 gigabyte. I don't need extra gigabytes because I do everything on the cloud. Like, nothing ever lives on my phone. Everything's in Dropbox, and I stream all the music, and I don't need any storage.
All right.
So they were out of stock, and I was like, oh.
Of that one.
Of that one.
Of course. The one you want.
Well, because I'm being a cheap bitch, and I don't want to pay the extra $40.
Okay.
AKA $3 a month.
Oh.
Right, I'm being that
Okay.
cheap of a bitch. So
I
I'm
was
like,
told there'd be no math, but
Right.
all right.
Wrong with that.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go check out some other places. Like, they have the 64 gigabytes in Best Buy in the color that I want. They have that. But I'm being a cheap bitch, and I'm saving $4 a month. So I go trundle my happy ass across the street, and I go into the mall. And I go into the Verizon dealer over
Kiosk
there.
thing.
Whatever,
Yeah.
right. Those
What have
people.
you?
Right. They're completely out of stock, but he can order it and get it for me for tomorrow. And I'm like, oh. Tomorrow's a long way away.
Yeah.
Today is the day.
All right. Why don't I?
No day but today.
Right.
Yeah. Oh wow, we're quoting Rent.
Why don't
A
I just?
musical I don't even like. I'm quoting it for you.
Why don't I just waddle my happy ass 2 blocks down to an actual Verizon store?
Oh, see what happens there.
Sure. See what happens there.
Yeah.
They sometimes maybe might have more stock.
Sure.
Okay, sure. So then I go down there and they're very nice, but no, they're completely out of stock. No edges there either. I'm like, oh. And the very nice salesman, he says to me, like someone in customer service and sales might. He says, you know what? Would you like me to check and see if any nearby stores have one? I can have them set one aside for you.
Nice.
So far, I've had a fairly pleasant, unsuccessful, but
At this point, now, were you walking all these places you said?
no, God, no.
Okay, so you were driving, so you spent the money in gas that
Yeah,
you
this story does take
Okay.
place in Phoenix.
Because I like that. I just wanted to make sure.
This story takes
'Cause I
place,
like
though.
that.
I swear to God, this story takes place in like a 1 square mile.
Paradise Valley.
It's
area.
on-
Exactly. I'm at the Paradise Valley Mall.
Got it.
So I'm at
Yeah.
the Best Buy.
Yeah.
I go literally
Yeah.
across the street,
Yeah.
and then
by car.
yeah, because I'm not walking
Yep.
anywhere.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, I've just put all my miles on at Pride. I'm tired.
Yeah, girls gotta go.
I need
right.
By the time I'm at the second store, I'm like, bitch, I need a nap. Do you have a couch?
Right?
She is a
Can you get one for me?
self-diagnosed narcoleptic.
See, this is true. And I play a doctor on an internet podcast.
Hi, everybody.
So the very nice man at Verizon, he finds one at the other Verizon store in Scottsdale, and
Oh.
I'm like, oh, I know where that is. I can go there. Sure. So I go on up there.
Oh, I see. This is where the point of the story is going to get turned.
This is where the tide turns.
All right.
Sad. So I've
I
long.
wish I had some minor chord music to play for you right now. Go ahead.
This is by far. First of all, this store is in the most expensive zip code in the entire valley.
Yeah.
Like all of the rich people in Scottsdale live in this area.
So are you up by Kierland now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm at the Promenade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the most expensive zip code. And I walk in and they do the whole take your name thing. The first Verizon store, like 2 minutes, I've got a guy helping me out.
Right.
This one, they're like, oh, well, there's a couple of people in queue. I'm like, it's all right. I can wait. I'll browse around, whatever. 45 minutes later.
Oh.
Yeah. On a Monday afternoon. Now, mind you, it's Monday afternoon. If I go in there like Saturday afternoon,
You're going to expect that.
I'm waiting 100 years.
Sure.
Monday afternoon. Yeah, so long wait. So now I've been to 4 stores and I'm irritated. And then they send the 10-year-old over, which is okay. Like, young people need to work.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand. But this poor, just mush-mouth, wishy-washy little boy just could not be bothered to say a yes or a no to me. He couldn't be bothered to answer a question. He asked his manager 3 times for things. And then, you do the whole phone trade-in thing. And so clearly there's a couple of scratches on my phone. And I'm like, well, is this going to, like, trade in? Is this not going to happen? And he goes and he asks the manager. And the manager's like, well, the manager tells him whatever. And he comes back. And this is the point where I just lost it. I'm like, okay, so is it a thing or not? And he goes, well, it's really up to you, but my manager said that it wouldn't be a good idea to turn it in this condition and blah, blah, blah. And just starts like mumbling this apologetic.
At any time were you called sir?
Repeatedly. Repeatedly. Which I don't even mind.
No, okay, that's not the problem.
That's not the problem. The problem is just the lack of knowledge and information
Right.
of these people of a very basic thing. Like I know more than he does about a phone that I decided, at this point, 3 hours ago.
I could not live without.
Yeah. So he came back and just and it's not the first bad experience that I've had at this store. So he came back and gave me the mumble shit, and I like snatched my phone out of his hand. I was like, I'm out of here, fuck you. And I went down to Best Buy and I had a very nice person help me, and I got a higher gigabyte phone because I was goddamn it gonna have the phone that day.
Because now you spent
Nice.
$40 on gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your $3 a
That's
month is now paid all at once.
Because I'm driving a van.
Okay.
That's your local Chevron.
And if you would have played your game right, you could have figured out a way to Uber yourself between points and make money while you were doing it.
Damn it.
No, that doesn't. No.
I'm looking for someone who needs a ride to Best Buy
As it
and
turns
wants to pay me to drive.
right, because then you pick up the asshole that's going out to the Mesa
Sure.
airport, and you're like, oh,
Sons of
motherfucker.
bitches.
Could have been a 32 gig out there by Mesa.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
you're in Mesa.
in other news, I'm pretty
Sure.
sure I'm done driving Uber because the last couple of times I've turned it on, it has so not been worth what was happening. Like
Oh
the
my God.
mileage and the the driving. And
I took Uber to Apollo's last night, and I always make chit chat with the drivers, like you do, because I'm nice. This guy,
Nice.
I am. I'm a charming, wonderful person. Ask my mother.
Die?
Or
got
she'll
one-
tell you in the chat room.
Yeah, we got one vote.
Hey, we can't ask your mom.
That's true. She would have gone with,
He can make a good gin rummy. It's about all he
I'm pretty sure that's what my mother has to say
So,
about me too.
I asked the guy, and he said that a friend of his actually works. He drives a little 7 days a week and makes $1,500 a week.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing because the last time I tried, I went like 30 miles for $13.
Oh.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me? And this drunk asshole's hitting on me the whole time? Because first of all, no.
But I'm like, wow, if you can just drive around, that he make that much. And the guy said that he works a little 5 days a week and he makes about $700 a week.
I think he's lying.
Wow. Okay, I don't know.
Or he's relying on surge and working all the bar shifts, which I can't work.
Oh, okay, because you're in the bar.
Because I'm right.
Oddly,
Right. Oh.
you're
Strangely,
surging.
working in the bar.
Well, that would make a difference then.
Yeah, it could because those surge prices are getting huge. God love her. Sharon took an Uber a couple of weeks ago, and I saw the thing, and I was like, $80 you couldn't wait 10 minutes for the surge to go down? Because
Oh
Wow.
I know.
yeah, they get you
They get a little
1.5 times or 2 times the rate for that, depending. But
She went ahead and accepted 4 times the rate. I was
4.
like, what the fuck?
Hokey smokes, Bullwinkle.
Wow, she's made of money.
Wow.
I don't know whose because it ain't mine,
Get me in on
and
that.
it ain't hers.
You know,
I was
now
like,
that,
get me in on that, Will, but she just spent it on Uber, so
now that she's got that cast off, she's a lot more mobile. It's costing you a lot more money.
It sure the fuck is. Good lord.
holy crap!
That's why I'm picking up all
Yes.
the extra shifts. I worked all day today.
For $80, my ass should be in Tucson,
For real.
and then immediately back for another 80.
Right.
It's a round trip.
Because not worth staying there for much longer.
Anything else do you want to update us on? Or do you want to talk about Pride later? What are we doing?
We could do Pride later. You want to do like a whole Pride section?
Well, we can discuss. There was dirt and dust and people saying. Marnie Ryer, I heard that they called you claimed that they called your name from the stage. They were chanting your name.
They were.
They were not.
No, I believe that they
Because
were.
I was standing adjacent.
Yeah.
To the stage.
They were chanting Marnie, Marnie.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody yell out, big fat girl. So it's all the same. So I knew it was me. Who do you think it was? No.
Carney Asada, or what's her name?
Oh, Carney Wilson.
Carney Wilson. Yes,
Of
the one who was on
Wilson
stage
Phillips.
singing.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Funny. What was the fucking tiara on her head? Was it her
son of a-
birthday?
It looked like a penis.
Was it her birthday?
I don't believe so, but it sure looked like it phallic. Very
I
phallic.
didn't get that close.
Oh, it was real easy to see. It was
not
very
too
phallic.
close.
No, but it was that was just very funny. All of a sudden, I'm like, listen, they're all chanting my name.
Yeah.
It's so nice. Welcoming.
While Aaron's
I like
pissed.
that you don't even know your name anymore.
No, I don't. I walked up
You'll
to get
accept anything that sounds kind
anything
of like
close.
it.
I walked up to get a cocktail in the VIP lounge, and this one looks at me and goes, "Hello, Margaret. How are you?" I'm well, thank
Like
you.
the VIP that you are.
Yeah, see?
Yes, I'm well, thank you.
We know all your
all
pseudonyms.
my surnames,
aliases.
aliases.
You alii.
All right, so
I
how
like
were
it.
they?
I had a very good time.
Did you get to meet them?
Not completely, but it was wonderful. The attempts made. My thanks to you, to Natalie, whom I finally met.
Okay, good, good.
To Katie June, who was just so sweet on the phone.
She was all about it too. Yeah, we talked about it at the Cat Carlson Memorial
Yes.
pre-parade party.
And you're so adorable. And to Matt, and a shout out to Matt Little, happy birthday. It was
yeah.
lovely. And it just, and Cosette was just a big part of it as far as like getting me it, because I
Cosette
didn't know what I was supposed to, like, am I supposed to be a certain place? Am I fucking this up? And to you, sir, the other thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But, am I fucking
If
it
I
up?
could
Am
kept
I not?
them away from me, I don't care how it was going to happen.
I
I was
know.
throwing anybody under that bus.
It was just one of those things where, you have different people. So I'm like, am I in the right place? Are we doing the right thing? And I probably fucked it up. But at the end, we ran out. Natalie was so cute. She's like, you're going to have your best chance of going around this way. And I'm like, which way? That's all I said. She goes, come on. And she started running, like,
She's
just
very high
sprinting.
energy, yeah.
Totally. So we sprint around the corner.
She's a good
And-
match for Katie June.
Oh,
Because
I
they're
can
besties. Yeah,
see
can you
that.
see the two of them together?
Absolutely, I can see that. So we get around the corner, and there the Wilson Phillips is coming walking out. We're going to take the. I'm so excited. This is the big chats, and the manager for them was like, no, one picture. And they roll up this gal who was, darling, and this is absolutely out of line, and we're going to lose everybody for me even saying this. But it rolled up in a wheelchair, and she took a picture with
Just
them.
back from Disneyland.
And it was phenomenal. Like, it was very cool. Aaron looks at me and goes, next year I'm bringing a chair. Yeah. And I thought, coming from her, that I burst out laughing. And I thought that was pretty
That's
good.
legit.
But
No,
yeah.
that's it.
But and I looked up and I said, Carney, they were chanting my name. And she's like, "What's your name, honey?" And I said, "Marnie." I thought they were chanting her name. She just started laughing. It was
Oh,
very
there,
cute.
that's close enough.
Yeah,
fun.
it was very close. We were right there. I just couldn't get Aaron to flip around to get into a picture. But
We can Photoshop that shit.
You know what you
Thinking
needed?
Yes,
No, here's what you needed because people lose their mind.
Yeah.
You needed a selfie stick.
I actually have
Anybody
one
in
at
the
home.
world
That
will
was
stop
dumb.
what the fuck they're
Yeah.
doing for a selfie. No.
Hashtag
True story.
selfie stick.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I'd walk right by that.
I'm pretty sure I don't want a picture with you anyway. Carry on, sir or ma'am.
Carry on, however you self-identify.
You got your fucking money's worth out of that selfie stick on Sunday. I'll tell you what
Fantastic.
you did. Yes.
Fantastic.
But you two had a great time.
We
No
did.
animals were harmed.
No animals were harmed in the making of that. Carney may have tripped, but I don't know about that. But otherwise, it was very fun. Mom celebrated 21 years of sobriety yesterday.
Oh, very good.
Very nice.
So
Congratulations.
for her, it was fantastic. So I gave her birthday cards like she's 21, and I made her a water martini with a lemon twist.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, it was lovely. And she's like, "Do you know how many people in AA would have a real fucking problem with this?" Because you know the whole kind of
Association.
Right.
Right.
Association.
I was gonna say I feel like the water martini maybe not so appropriate.
Oh my God, it's totally appropriate.
All right.
For her.
For Mom, it's absolutely not a problem.
Please
for
do
Mom.
not try this at home.
Right. Please
Right.
don't celebrate with
With
fake
your in
cocktails.
recovery
Yeah.
mother,
Your-
right.
Yeah, Mom,
Yeah.
Right.
Mom can handle it.
Please
real,
test
real
the water
well.
and see a psychologist,
Yes.
psychiatrist, or however you self-identify
So
first.
she had a Daitini, and it was just lovely. So yeah, it's been a very long week, but a good week, and Pride was fun, and so
All behind us.
Yes, I'm glad that this last week and a half is behind us.
I sent a text message on Saturday night to Al because he was out and about doing some other things, and I sent a text that said I held on for one more day.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I sent him something either later that night or the next day, something that said you would have been itching because he would have gotten the hives for as close as we were.
That would have never happened. There's no train events that are going to lead me closer to Wilson
Thanks,
Phillips.
Bear. Yeah. So it was very, very funny.
And now, because they don't have enough of their own things to sing along with the track too, they sang multiple songs that their parents had made
Yes.
popular.
Yes.
Well, they've been robbing that grave for a long time.
Sure.
But I mean,
Did they do California Dreaming? And
yes,
Yep.
which Beach Boys song did they rape or pillage?
couldn't tell you.
I honestly don't remember.
Couldn't tell.
I don't remember.
I was enjoying the first.
I want to say they usually do Good Vibration. No,
No, they didn't do that.
they do one of the big harmony.
I just know Wendy.
Was it Kokomo? Because that's what.
No,
I
Jesus
know.
God,
Christ.
I know. I just know
I would
that-
have
That would be
left.
the only thing worse than Wilson Phillips is the song
Because
Kokomo.
Wilson Phillips singing
I just
Kokomo.
Yeah.
know that
Think
I
of
kept
that.
singing. Aaron kind of go like this whenever Wendy would sing. She's maybe the one that has less talent than the others.
Wow, that's a low bar. Holy shit.
She kept like flinching, like, oh my God.
That's a limbo dance.
I was gonna say that was the limbo line. Way low.
down here.
How low can you go?
I was trying to think like what other act do I despise with so much fire and passion in my soul, and I think REO Speedwagon is the only one that even comes
really?
close.
Okay.
And it's all based on
interesting.
having to listen to them. Like in the 8th grade, REO Speedwagon was
All the time.
biggest
Yeah,
band in the
yeah.
world. And if I had listened about that, all coiled up in the grass, all coiled up and hissing, whatever that line is from that stupid fucking song, I wanted to go find them and murder them. Like seriously, hunt them down. Like they were like she's fresh, exciting, cool in the gang kind of bad songs.
right.
Oh, like
She's fresh.
I'm gonna keep on loving you. I'm not.
exciting.
It's so exciting to me. I'm always like, how did you get from Jungle Boogie to this national nightmare? Like, how did
Jungle
we?
Boogie.
National
Good
nightmare.
stuff.
How does a career
like
go
it.
that far down the drain?
Well-
that Jungle Boogie leads to she's
Yeah,
fresh,
right.
exciting. Does that mean she
So
douched recently? Like
could
what?
be.
What is
Maybe
our
they
metaphor
use
here?
that for the walk on the beach.
What is the metaphor?
But yes, thank you to everybody who kind of lent a hand in us attempting to meet them, and Thursday we'll celebrate 4 years together.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah,
You've been together a year longer than this show's even been around.
correct.
Wow.
Well, it's a good thing we have
talking.
your own separate bottle of champagne then.
Well, thanks.
you to
I also
celebrate
brought
with.
something else.
Well, I figured you would have brought something.
Oh.
That's why I messaged you today because I didn't know. Unless you didn't even see the message and didn't.
Yeah.
There's all that. Don't.
She didn't come in with luggage, so I don't know what it is.
Is it
Usually if she-
moonshine?
Yeah, oh,
It could be out in the.
You know that was about the first episode I ever heard, and I about died.
Fuck. We all about died.
yeah.
All of us about died.
That was very, very hard.
That was tough
was
to
a-
listen to.
Really? Uh-oh.
What
The
the?
same homemade moonshine that we had.
All right, we're doing it.
It was brown.
It's apple pie.
It's all innocent until you smell that shit. Because I will say, in Clayton's defense, he resisted the longest. It kept passing him by, going, "No, I'm not doing it." And then he smelled it, and he's like, "Well, maybe a glass." And then trying to watch him ride his bike down Osborne Road was one of the great pleasures of my life.
In case we just want to have little sips, I have our little.
Oh, good, because Juden shot for him.
I said sip.
I have.
Kick those back.
We have bigger solo cups too if we need them.
I know. So,
look
anyway,
at that. How did you?
This is the homemade from.
From the
from
Pennsylvania, right?
That's right.
Right, from Pennsylvania.
And so
I think I said all these things to my rehab counselor.
It's the same thing that we had. Same thing we had 3 years ago.
Okay. And when did you
I
order
always
this?
pictured it to be clear.
I did not know.
Oh no.
Oh no. There is a.
Well, I was
there
only
is
a
clear.
listener.
There is clear.
Yeah, we
as
did.
well,
Back before there was video.
Yeah,
It was,
that's right.
I found.
If there was
long-time
video
listener.
of that, I'd be blowing up the
God.
wherever it was held. I'd be taking the next shuttle to
it
the
sounded
cloud
like
and
a
getting
real
it out
shit
of there.
This.
God, a show you'd have to dig way deep to find. It's
I
still
got
on
it
there.
about a month and a half ago, I think, and and it will stay. So
Ah.
I've kept it. It's
God, you plan ahead very well. I don't do that
do.
well.
well. When I knew that they had it, I was like,
Guess what? We need some.
yes.
Okay,
So-
carry
Oh my
on,
God.
carry over, Cary Grant, Al Perkins.
Well, I knew I wasn't going
Hello.
I know I was not going to be in the same square mileage as the Wilson Phillips, so I had made other plans with some friends to go to dinner, and we went to the Gladly, and I have
So
that
wonderful.
is spectacular. That is like get on planes, get there, whatever planes, trains, and
I don't care
automobiles.
I don't
you
care
get
how you
here.
get here.
I
Just
don't
get here.
If you
get here
can,
like
you
an
can.
Arab man, whatever that might mean, whatever that metaphor means. Yeah. Speaking of
played.
terrible lyrics.
Yeah, I hate that. game.
Oh, Olita Adams though. Love her.
Oh yeah. No, it's a great song. It's right up until they cross the desert like an Arab man. How about just anybody? I think it's the same way.
Camel, maybe?
Yeah. Is the
sure.
scarvery something?
Yeah.
But anyways,
Maybe.
food was delicious. It was the girls I went to Temecula with last summer, and we had the best time, the best wine. The food was incredible. Laughed our asses off again. Slightly less drunk than we were in Temecula at dinner, so we didn't have to be seated at a table outside by ourselves. When the lady's like, "This is just the last table we haven't brought in yet," we're like, "Trust us, you want us outside, away from your good, kind people indoors,
paying customers.
because we are fucked up." I didn't tell her we were fucked up. I'm like, we're just a little louder than you're
This
used
is
to.
smart to be out here.
So that was good. And then my plan was to go home and go right to bed, but we finished off with dessert and espresso.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wide awake until
Clearly didn't sleep
the
at
Cat
all.
Carlson Memorial pre-parade party
Right.
started. So I went to bed. Sadly, I went to bed at 7:45. But the plan was to go home, go to bed, make it for that, and then
Go play
when the
Pride for a
parade
little while.
started,
Sure.
go to work, because I ended up picking up a shift in East. Who gives a fuck? At the
I was very surprised that you
at
had
the
done
Banner
that.
Hilton, I'll call it, because that was one modern ass fucking hospital. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Oh, everything was just brand spanking new.
Because he's used to working in 1963 or whatever
Oh,
year.
it went up in the 80s. Settle down.
Oh, well, I don't know what year. I don't follow.
The towers went up in the 80s sometime.
I don't
like
remember.
87 or something
Okay.
like that. But all new and only a few floors, and we learned things through the course of the. As I'm sure the people there were like, okay, stop with the questions, because I'm like, what's this? What's this? Where's the cafeteria? Where's the ICU? Why are there no doctors here? Like, I work at a teaching hospital where there's doctors constantly,
All
like
the time,
all the time.
yeah.
Like, there's just someone around. I'm like, okay, I went 12 hours without seeing a doctor.
Oh, that's interesting.
They Skype them in. Is that what
Yeah,
they do?
Yeah,
Right?
they literally do. They have electronic ICU.
I wasn't joking
Kinda
about
cool.
that. I needed
Turn
to-
your TV to channel 4.
The doctor will see you now.
And
Doctor will see
they
it now,
camera
right?
in and can see everything. Yes, it's very high tech. So that it was fun, and then then it's just the same. It's my goal is being
I
met.
have
It's like,
Skype. I really could be a doctor.
see,
Oh!
and sometimes they're from Jerusalem. Like
Sure.
one of our doctors at our hospital is like telephoning in from Jerusalem,
Look
and
out.
he always makes sure to tell you
Wow.
that.
Huh.
That he's live from
No.
Jerusalem. I'm a doctor.
Now,
Dun,
is
dun,
he
dun,
wailing?
curtains
Is
open
he-
and
how
screens.
How does he know? How do you know? Is he wailing?
No, he says I'm.
Is he
Oh
wailing?
yeah, like a wailing wall.
Stop it.
It's one of her puns. I try not to encourage them.
I know.
So then it's just the same thing. Like
Makes you wanna try to say them
any
more.
time that I have free time, it's at the gym. Like we're getting it done.
We're going. I like it. I like it. I'm proud of you.
I got a straight wedding and a gay wedding to get to. So, and clothes to wear.
Very good.
And we are
I
not
like it.
investing in this weight.
Or you're investing time in getting rid of it because you're not investing in a new suit.
Yes.
Right, I am not investing in this weight.
Nope. There you go.
So it was a very interesting weekend and a lot of fun and just playing somewhere else with people, and they were very nice to me, and I'm like,
well, that's fun.
And I don't care who you are, you could not have asked for better weather in this Valley of the Sun for the weekend. It was
my
gorgeous.
God.
and even their second floor was somehow higher than our second floor, or they don't have like another building right next door like we do. So it was it was a lovely view of the east
of the Hilton in Mesa.
Valley that I absolutely that is a part of town I do not ever need to see again. Like as long as I live, I don't ever need to go back to that corner of the world.
Okay.
I understand.
I kind of feel that. I was just talking about that. I kind of feel that way about the East Valley too. I'm like,
Yeah.
I lived out there when we first moved here, and I'm like, I don't know why.
Once you get to that eastern Tempe border, I don't really care what you're doing.
No, sure, don't need to.
You're not selling anything that I need.
Nope.
Past the 101 and the 60. Okay.
Except that is
No.
where out by Santan where I got the moonshine. So maybe once in
And
a
that
while.
Arizona Brewing, the Wilderness
I still
Brewing
feel like
Company was
UPS
okay.
would come this way.
I know, but I didn't want them. I didn't want them to handle it. They don't approve of liquids.
Only if they know about it. If you
That's
just
a good
pack it in a
point.
bunch
That's
of
a good
peanuts
point.
and
Yeah.
seal it really good,
Sure,
it'll be
sure.
fine.
That's a good point.
Oh, and Laura's
I
here.
may or may not
Yes,
have shipped
she
beer that
is.
way before.
Yes,
Yes.
and Laura, I am so sorry I have not been there yet.
Oh, such a good restaurant. Oh, it's so amazing.
We'll have to make a day trip or something and go
I
up.
just think we should.
be
Because
fun.
it really, I've done that. I did that for her for her birthday. I went up
Oh,
there
you
for
did?
the day
Yes.
trip and came back. And
Well, now that I no
Gorgeous.
longer work Friday night and Saturday night, it kind of frees me up that we
Sure
could
does.
take a Saturday and roll up. I mean,
I love it.
you work often,
Yeah.
but maybe take a Saturday, roll up,
in
see her.
town. I think it'd be lovely.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel
Lovely,
about
lovely.
Sundays?
Also doable.
I'm much more available on a Sunday.
Me too.
Also doable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See?
I like it.
Sundays are really my day to shine because of God.
Or something.
Jesus.
Yes.
No, mutual respect. We steer clear of each other.
You
like-
both say similar things.
I feel like that's solid.
Plausible.
I like it.
Got it.
I like it.
And
How about you,
I just
sir?
routing out the evil four. It was Pride
evil
weekend.
So clearly you sat around just twiddling your thumbs
yeah,
the whole weekend.
we
Did
attempt.
nothing. This one just sitting on a case of beer all weekend.
Yeah, fuck right. I was
Nothing.
handing out to people in snow cone trailers is what I was doing.
yeah.
Do you like to sell some beer without a license? Come on.
Oh, man.
No, so it's Friday attempted setup for Pride, and then we tried to get it all done on Saturday. And here's to your phone being a hot spot for, you can make Wi-Fi miracles happen. We ran the entire point of sale
all of Saturday.
all of Saturday
Oh, wow.
off of my phone.
Yeah.
Because the three computers, their network wouldn't come up, and we couldn't pull off the magical changeover because they got
Oh,
inundated
God.
by 25 and 30 people deep in a line at the bar.
Hundreds.
Not kidding you.
Not kidding.
Couldn't cut it over. Couldn't do it. Left it on. Got on the phone. It literally ran Wi-Fi on my phone all day long.
Mm-hmm.
So little latency in there, but it pulled it off. It worked, and they cranked as what they could.
All the way up until the power went out. Yep.
Oh, the power goes out. Literally, they gave last call,
Yeah.
and then it was almost as if magic.
like God was listening.
A generator bought it and took half the park out.
Wow.
Really. So they got through that the next day.
Good fun.
We got up, did the parade pre-stuff, had a great time, and it was so much fun. Looking at the pictures of you and Jonathan,
Oh my God, we had
you had
so much fun.
You did. You had way more fun than Katie and I do.
We basically just held up and ran around in the parade.
Literally in the vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the double-decker buses. You
We
were
climbed
on
in everything.
cars.
I climbed in the truck with like the Phoenix Mercury
Yeah,
mascot.
that's it.
I climbed in the car with the Echo horrors. I climbed.
The Echo Horrors. They're so happy to be
Yeah,
called that.
I climbed
Yeah,
in
I
like
like
4
it.
different convertibles and took all kinds of pictures. And
You
yeah,
guys
we
had
were
a
in
great time.
everything.
Yeah.
As did Katie and I. Now, what I did not know,
Funnier
and I don't know
than shit,
why
you two.
I didn't already suspect this, but I kept thinking, as we were going along in the parade, which was 2 hours long.
Sure.
Katie and I reading our scripts as we do, moving along, everything, and I kept thinking, God, she's just getting a little more loose than normal with the parade. I'm like, she's saying phrases like "you bitches"
Yeah.
a lot during the parade. I'm like, well, there's kids,
Yeah.
and
I love drunk Katie.
I had
Oh.
two. I had 3 Bloody Marys at the pre-parade thing.
Cat Carlson Memorial
But I
Parade-
didn't.
parade party.
I have never drank at the parade. I just don't. I
I'd
never
ask
go
her.
there.
Because it's fucking hot out there.
Well,
I
didn't-
thought about it and then just couldn't.
I didn't pay attention to the fact that the big coolie cup that Marnie was given Katie was not
Gave her
water. And I realized this only after the parade that
Yeah.
Katie was loaded.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got through the parade. It was a good time.
That was hysterical. When Katie looked up and the fertility, it's my favorite fucking moment. The fertility people go by and she's like, now I didn't use this particular fertility for my partner and I to have our daughter, but they're wonderful. And she's like hanging out with the doctor. And then Planned Parenthood comes by and she says,
oh God.
now, I used them for fertility, or I didn't use them for fertility, but I did use them for a time in my life that I wasn't ready. And I sat down.
God.
I was laughing so hard because she turned around and looked at me and she goes, like, put her thumb in the air. Oh
Now,
my God.
This is how you gotta sell this to me.
I thought I was bad for putting my foot in it with the Mormons. No.
It was hysterical.
Well, I thought I had put my foot in it when the whole group went by, and I'm
The
like,
Katie Jean Memorial Fertility Parade.
when the Mormons for gays or whatever the hell they were called walked by, I'm like, well, I'm a little disappointed, people. Where the hell are your bikes? And the one guy turns and looks at me and he comes, I'm like, come on, you need two guys with backpacks and bikes circling your group. You got it, you're done.
Oh, it was hysterical.
But the segues that Katie was making were far more brutal, because I would do things.
Funny.
I would do things like, like Bank of America was coming, like I read my script and I know where they were. I back timed them in my head, so I'd say, hey, use them every day in business. I made a deposit on an ATM this morning, ladies and gentlemen, Bank of America.
And
I would do segues like this. Oh no, she's doing knocked up fertility questions. If you didn't want a kid, you go with these people.
I mean, yelling, it's all about choice, girls. It's all about choice, people.
And then in one of the groups, she knew one of the women and ran out and hugged her in the parade.
Totally, yeah.
Oh, see, that was me and Jonathan's whole shtick. We were out there with everybody. We were hugging people and kissing people. We were in the middle.
Fantastic.
Like, fuck that little stage thing that they put up there. Because first of all, they fenced us away from like the people, and we had.
She was
That
funny.
seems safe.
No, I feel like there should be people
not as
closer.
fun.
And I really did. I tried to go like up and down the street because there was shade in front of the stage thing that they had set up. So I'm like, well, we need a fucking audience over here. Let's get some people out of the sun. We'll put them in the shade.
A live studio audience.
Right, a live studio audience.
Come on down.
Right, because otherwise it's just me and Jonathan trying to do this show. And yeah, the very specific and apparently listening to their instructions, Pride volunteers that were with us were like, you can't do that. So then I just started sneaking them in like 3 at a time. Like,
well, now so since this is year 1 or 2 for you.
This is the first time
This
I've done
is year
a parade.
1. Okay, so
it's
what?
year 2 for VIP, year 1 for parade.
Okay, so you'll have more clout next year for the parade.
Right.
So when you,
because I already just
You'll
walk
have
into the
those
park saying
bitches in
VIP
line.
Right.
and nobody stops.
So what you'll do just what I do. Like, and there was, oh my God, one of the years, somebody who I won't mention because people get feelings hurt, but
Yes.
she ran, and Marnie will know when I tell the story. She ran our little judges area tent thing, and she was trying to be on militant. I'm like, let me tell you something. I've done this 7 years.
Right.
My mother's gonna sit where the fuck I want my mother to sit.
Where I put her, that's
And
my
I'm gonna
mother,
cut
right.
through this little fence you've got
Fence
here,
there, right.
and I'm gonna be in the street for the parade. That's how this is gonna roll.
Yeah.
And if anybody has a problem with it, you tell them to come see me, because you're not telling me how I'm running my stage.
Right.
That we never
Good
had
for
another
you.
problem, and she's never worked again at that parade.
Oh, sad.
Worked out real well.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But anyway, so next year you have more clout, so you'll
Well,
just be
sure.
like, here's how this is gonna work.
Well, yeah, this year it was like a look and see how it goes.
Right. And I appreciate that. As a newcomer, you have to start somewhere. But
You gotta,
next year,
sit back and see what's going on before you
Get a
can
feel
really
for
fuck
it.
it all up and make.
they
a lot
need
of
a Cat
changes.
Carlson Memorial ass whooping is what they're going to need
I
at
like
your
it. I like
stage.
it.
I feel like my stage needs like bleachers.
And I think that would be cute.
I think it'd be
Wouldn't that be
adorable.
to
fun?
have a little setup on there. I
Yeah.
think that'd be kind of cute.
It'd be adorable.
And how was, because I didn't hear any of it, how was the interaction between you and Jonathan, who had never worked together before?
Hilarious.
Good.
And
Do I
fun.
know Jonathan?
Jonathan,
You know what? I kind of felt the same way.
you do.
I know
I have seen
he's
pictures.
been
I'm not good with those.
he's been super involved in Pride and the community for a long
dark
time.
hair, tall. No.
Have you been on social media in the last 3 days?
No, not
okay.
really.
Fair enough.
I will
I'll
go
show you a
look.
picture.
I'll go look.
Yeah, go to my
Okay.
Facebook because he's the really, really wired boy with the mouth wide open in some of my pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, because every picture he took was like, wow. Because he
That's
showed
how
up.
Natalie takes pictures, and that's very funny.
That's
to
true.
me.
He showed up to the Cat Carlson Memorial pre-parade party, and announced that he'd had 3 monsters already this morning.
He was wired.
He was
so wired.
So bouncing around and off the walls, and he has like this whole. He was doing the Molly Shannon like stretch and kick thing.
He was.
Oh my God.
He was Sally O'Malley. He was. He likes to stretch. He likes to kick.
And at some point, the stretching and the kicking got leg warmers, got like stripy colored leg warmers. Like
God.
before the parade even started, the vendor people were trundling by, and I said something about it's not a parade without a feather boa, and somebody walks up behind me and like drapes a feather boa over my shoulders.
Funny.
I know.
Funny stuff.
I was like, well, that's handy. Look how that
Thank you.
happened.
It was.
You know, the super. It really was so fun to see Katie. Like, I can't even tell you that just seeing Katie and listening to her, she was hysterical. And it was just such a joy to see her having that much fun with you. I mean, it's just always so much fun.
It would always work so well.
Yeah. But truly, when Greg Stanton came I mean, Mayor Stanton, I just have the utmost of respect for. And so that was a really cool moment.
I got him with my selfie stick.
Oh, I saw that. It was a good
That's
shot.
great.
It was a good shot.
That's
Sure did.
great.
You
I
shouldn't
got
hit the mayor.
His detail didn't arrest me
I got
or
a hug
anything.
and kiss.
Did you?
I sure
Shouldn't
did.
make
Oh,
out
that's
with
good.
the
He
mayor.
turned around and came back when he saw the selfie stick.
Oh,
Because
that's awesome.
people lose
People
their
do,
motherfucking
right?
mind with the selfie stick. I
should have brought
I
one.
have to carry that to every event that I ever go to.
It
because
was-
people really do. They like crowd around and they get really excited about
Yes,
selfie
that's
stick.
exactly who I thought Jonathan was.
Very, very funny stuff.
Yeah.
Jonathan
So-
Breyer.
Yeah.
No, but that
From
was very
Lawrence,
very fun.
Kansas. Midwestern boy as
very
well. So
good.
we bonded a little bit on that. Yes.
nice.
Al just popped a cork on a bottle of
Oh.
champagne. So toasting
Happy
Happy anniversary.
our 3 years.
Thank you for all listening for however long this shit show's been going on.
However long. Kat, and if you're lucky, just like Kat,
Stretch and kick
you can
and
start.
stretch.
You can start as a listener
Is
and
it
work
a
your way
band we're
up to
gonna
a
get
cast
rid of
member.
if we
Just worked
sing
my way on
Happy
in.
anniversary, baby.
Oh, I like that.
Well, Jenny,
Got
it's
you on
it just happens to be on a Friday the 17th, April 17th, 2012 is when we
Cheers.
first started our show. Was show number 63. We've done 148 shows, this included, since
And-
we began, and here we are.
And Annette said it succinctly and said, yes, Jenny, yes, it is the anniversary show.
Very
Yes.
good. I'm glad to
The
have
short
Annette
answer
on it.
was yes.
Yes.
Well, I like the long answer.
I like it as well.
All right, kids,
Well
we're coming
done,
back.
Annette.
Headlines are coming at you right after this. Don't go away.
All right.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
30 seconds of jelly jiggling fun. This is your 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Okie doke, hokey poke. Here we go with some headlines. Real, made up, you figured out. We're just as good as Fox News. And doggone it, people like us. Oh, pink for weeks.
Kiss my emoji.
Too sexy for this plate.
Facebook divorce.
Water bottling? Oh, nothing to see here.
Penile arousal testing.
Grilled cheese and good lovin'.
We like North Dakota coffee shops.
And inner office talk. What it really means if you're listening well. These and more things coming at you right now in the headline section of Q Talk America on a Tuesday night.
Happy birthday, Nope.
Oh, back in Hope's birthday?
Oh, it's not for 2
Oh,
days.
for 2 days. Got
2
it.
days. From
Hey,
now.
you
Well, if you're listening to the show on Thursday, the 16th of April, it's
exactly.
Nope's
Turn it
birthday.
back on then. Happy birthday to Nope.
Oh, well, some of you may have already seen this story in the news because it's a few days old, but I thought it was worth bringing up because I thought it was a cool story in light of so many different things in regards to local police forces getting bad raps for a lot of crazy crap that's gone down. Toronto police officer Luke Watson got a striking makeover in an effort to take a stand against homophobia and anti-gay discrimination. In honor of the Canadian International Day of Pink, Watson dyed his hair a fiery fuchsia, while colleague Ryan Wilmer captured the transformation on social media. Watson showed off his new do when he and Wilmer visited area schools on April 8th. And it isn't just a quick and temporary style shift either. As the New York Daily News reported, Watson vowed to keep the colorful coif an additional week for every 1,000 retweets of the picture received on Twitter, with an additional day added for each 100 tweets. Now, at the time of the story, when it was first published, the photograph had received over 2,500 retweets. So he's going to have that pink hair for quite a while. Now, this program was actually launched by 2 straight high school students in Nova Scotia. The International Day of Pink is aimed at celebrating diversity and raising awareness to stop homophobia, transphobia. I'm going to screw this word up. Misogyny.
Just like of women.
And all forms of bullying, according to its official website. Quote, the Day of Pink is more than just a symbol of shared belief in celebrating diversity. It's also a commitment to being open-minded, accepting differences, and learning to respect each other, officials wrote on the website. Really good-looking guy. He literally walked in. I guess his partner had put on social media that if the picture of the cop got more than 100, however many retweets, he was going to wear his hair pink. And the guy was on his way to work, didn't know anything about it, had like 500 retweets by the time it was posted when he got to work. They sprayed his hair pink with that spray and hair color. And he went all over the place, did news interviews, went to schools. And the whole thing was started because 2 guys saw some other gay kid getting bullied at school, and they decided to all wear pink in allegiance with the kid. And that's where they started the Canadian Day of Pink.
Just another reason to like Toronto.
Never been.
Formerly known as Toronto the Good, but they've come a long way, baby.
That's fantastic.
But
Which I never saw, because whenever I was there, it was Toronto the Misbehaved. So I did not understand the
early 80s were a different time.
Toronto the Good.
Social conservatism that was always supposedly on display in Toronto, that they were the uptight, Orange County of
watertight as a frog's ass.
Yeah,
Canada.
Exactly, of Canada.
The Canadian.
I mean, that's where the stripper dips down and puts his dick in your drink and stirs it that way. You know
Home
what I mean?
of the crack smoking mayor of Toronto.
Well, so now, but
Tell
now,
me if you were just doing a big business reference. Is a frog's ass
Yeah,
watertight?
what?
Get back. You just get back.
I know, I don't have the jewelry on. That's from Big Business.
Oh my God, that's
Is a frog's ass watertight?
Now, I've known that phrase for a long time because I'm from Missouri.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's all I know it from.
Oh, wow. Really?
We're going to have to watch that.
You got
It's
to branch
hysterical.
out. You got to learn
Yeah.
more because...
No. You
Like
need to watch Big
It's
Business.
a bear shit in the woods. No offense, Bear, in the chat room.
Well,
went to work.
and maybe
He may be an avid
yeah.
camper. You don't know.
Give me a shovel. Dig a hole.
He may indeed occasionally shit in the woods. You don't know.
We don't know.
You don't know?
With those
You don't
bears
know.
with the clean
Sometimes
ass.
that camp cooking.
Don't
just,
judge.
You know.
That's why.
This Friday is Day of Silence here. Wear purple to support our
yes.
kiddos. I am clearly not going to be part of a Day of Silence.
But I will wear purple
Yeah.
because I have a whole lot of that at home.
So,
Yes,
sure.
Of course, yeah. That's terrifying. I love that story, Clayton. That was awesome.
I thought it was good, and especially in light of so many things just hitting wrong with so many
Yeah.
police forces across the country of late.
Absolutely.
Just bad.
And
Yeah, very much.
now it's been 14 years since I went to Pride in Toronto the last time. And
How
that
fun.
fucking parade, yeah, and it was, oh my God, the bars that they filmed Queer as Folk in were
Oh.
like are real bars. I think one was called The Sailor, and I can't remember what the other one, The Anchor and The Sailor, I think were the 2 bars where they filmed a lot of the stuff. The big club in Queer as Folk was a warehouse.
Okay.
That wasn't really a bar. But they had like wrapped up filming the night before, and I was there for the setup as everything was getting ready, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, what's going to happen here? Like, this is getting a little ridiculous. And there's a picture on my Facebook where I'm standing on the garbage cans in shorts, like over top of the crowd. I got up on the garbage cans to see it because the parade went on for so long, and I got so sunburned. We were like 2 hours in, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, I did not, I was expecting it to be like the Phoenix Pride Parade where it goes one city mile and it lasts an hour and a half. This went on for hours, and it was
Yeah, but
the entire.
He's missed the parade for a while.
Apparently.
Yeah, because ours was
2 hours.
2+
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, too long.
Yeah.
But this was
Oh,
like the
wonderful.
entire
No,
police force, the fire department, the in Canada, Showtime is called Showplace, and of course they were very big on Queer as Folk. So they like the cable stations each had their own like floats. Like this wasn't like local. This was like Canada national businesses and like
Nice.
whole company. And what are there? 3 Canadian companies? I don't even know. But they like
At least.
it was kind of such a national day that I was kind of blown away by like the people, and this was in 2001 where we were dealing with Karl Rove and his bigotry, and here's Canada like here's our police force marching in the gay pride parade. Like, you know, they're trying to keep people out of the St. Patrick's Day parade, and the police are fighting to get into this one.
Right.
Just very strange.
That was very. Speaking of which, the Brenda Mendoza, the Mesa Police.
Oh yeah, the Brandon Mendoza when they were honoring him. Yeah, that was.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Interesting.
was.
That was
very,
nice to
very
see
touching.
that.
Oh, that's
Also, I
hard.
just wanted to throw out the 3 was on purpose. Did anybody notice that? 3 big boob, 3 years, 3,
You have 3 tits?
3.
That's,
3
that's
years.
awkward for
That-
everybody.
All right, my second guess was
Is
better.
that good planning, or are you just like, oh my
No,
god,
I
look
swear
at
to
it?
God.
Okay, well I never know with
She
you.
plans all this
Yeah.
shit.
You
Yeah.
can't.
That was
pun-
nicer than it came out.
I appreciate that. I mean, I have
Every
red shoes on to
wardrobe
go with all the
change.
blue and the red and the hat. Come on.
Ooh, Laura, I am
This took
so in on a
hours.
river cruise through Austria. You just have to remember that by drink number 2, I'm just going to sing Edelweiss to people I meet because I was almost 40 before I realized it wasn't their national anthem.
They went to Pride in Madrid, and Laura and
Wow.
her husband, and some of the pictures are, well, startling to say the least, but fun. I mean, it looks real fucking
And I love
crazy.
Europe Pride. That's kind of a big area to cover.
Yeah, well, they've traveled and they've done different things.
I'm sure
but
Pride in Madrid is
unbelievable.
lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you would be
Oh,
just
yeah.
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 I'm pretty sure Laura said something about Clayton being happy with the pictures.
Laura was right.
Yep, she's good like that. Well, the idea of kissing my emoji came from kind of along the lines of with everything that's going on with the police, with the how we always kind of LGBTQRSTUV here, and
There's
and
a lot of letters.
everything is
And let me tell you,
inclusive.
I found out how many times you get to say lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender.
Every fucking script.
Every fucking script.
That what
Yes.
happened?
Jesus.
I would just go with you
Oh,
people.
I found,
You know who
I
you
know.
are, you people.
I
Who
found
people-
out when reading
yeah.
the scripts at the parade that everybody wants you to say, and it's harder to say than you think 100 times.
Yes.
Lesbian, gay, transgender,
See?
Going,
bisexual, whatever.
It really is.
Ant.
Well, and
I don't know why I was
failed.
an ant when I had a
I don't
bell.
either.
But the basic idea is that everyone is trying to be inclusive
Sure.
with everyone, and it's all lovely. It's all lovely and whatnot.
Until somebody
Except-
gets hurt.
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody put
So you have to go to a. So you need another alphabet.
except when you realize that you're almost damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Oh, in a lot of ways you are.
You are damned if you don't, because or damned if you do. Excuse me. The idea with these Apple's new diverse emojis emoji are even more problematic than before.
I had
Oh.
somebody at the bar losing their mind over the multicolored emoji.
Yes.
I
That's
just learned
exactly
about
it.
this because I accidentally held down the thumbs up emoji the other day, and it spreads out, and you can do 7 different colors of hands.
7 different
Correct.
shades, yeah.
I didn't
Correct.
understand. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, their intent was good. Apple's intent was good, but the execution was completely flawed. Now, keep in mind the person who's writing this
Is it
from
because the
India.
white hands are first and the black hands are at the end of the spectrum?
I don't believe it's just that. What,
Oh, no,
what I
no,
got
no,
out
sure,
of
there's
this
more.
was the person writing this was from India. Okay, or is from India. Apple's
there dots?
intent was good. Yes.
Cabs, not
But
casinos.
Jesus. But the execution was completely flawed, they say.
It's fair.
Dot, not feather.
I'll allow it.
Apple took the easy way out. Here's the interesting. Apple took the easy way out. Instead of creating actual emojis of color, Apple simply allows its users to make white emoji a different color. With this update, the company skirts around having to attribute certain physical characteristics to certain races of people. For example, there's nothing specifically, quote, black, unquote, about an emoji.
But
with
let me tell you
browner
how many
skin.
people would lose their mind
Right.
if you put a bigger nose on the black
Oh!
emoji. Or didn't they lose their mind over the turban one too?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't pay
Yeah,
attention.
It was
didn't
on this
affect
show.
me.
Allegedly,
Yes.
it was on this show.
Oh, really?
Allegedly,
We
yeah.
talked about something
We
important.
talked about something like
Did-
this.
oh, wait,
yeah.
were you part of
because
it?
The thing is,
No, I was still listening. At the time.
because
That's why she knows.
Deepening the color of this was the sentence that deepening the skin color of a previously white emoji doesn't make the emoji not white. It's just a bastardized emoji blackface.
It started out as a colon, a hyphen, and a closed parentheses. Like how
It was a smiley face with a wink.
there's no gender. Or there's no race.
Well, no, if you
like
hold-
emoji started out as
Well,
Right.
it's Julianne
Somebody
Huff.
being
The
clever
way,
and
the way
making
that
a
I'm
wink.
seeing
Somebody
this
thinking-
is Julianne Huff. I mean, in the blackface. I don't know.
All I keep thinking is people settle down. There's so much more important things
Calm
to
the
worry
fuck
about.
down.
no, the blonde-haired emoji man and
Oh,
the
there's the
blue-eyed
turban.
emoji princess are
kid in-
clearly white.
The kid and play emoji.
Because
But
Santa
you can
kids
slip
is
them.
clearly
You
white.
can slip them into a
Santa
darker
just is
Oh,
colored
look
skin.
at you can pick any one of those, any shade of the rainbow.
Yes, anything you want.
Kid and play can be a white guy or a black guy.
I want burnt sienna right there.
Burnt. This is fun.
It's a turbine.
Wait, no, there's
I
a
think
pile
you
of
mean
shit.
Turbine. I
And
think spell
again,
check out
the-
you, Laura.
it-
Pile of
it's
shits
that-
are all the same color.
That's also the pile of shit is also your chocolate ice cream. Just to let you know.
Is that
Swear to God.
That's supposed to be. That looks like
fuck?
dog
I feel like
shit.
I'm in the
Can't
middle of
make
a
that
Carvel commercial, and the pile of shit cake's the same as the what cake?
There you go. I like
Ice
it. I
cream.
like it. Aaron.
Ice cream.
Aren't the original emojis
How do you
black?
know that that's? How do you know that that's
Look
ice
at the
cream?
ice cream. Look
Well-
at the regular ice cream cone. And then just
Is
put
there-
the,
All right,
the
seriously.
dark one.
I
It's
think
just
I waste a
chocolate
lot
ice
of
cream.
time until this conversation
but
happened,
the
and all of
thing
a sudden
is
I'm like,
that
I
they-
am busy.
These are things people use, Al.
Yeah, but
This is important
this whole
shit.
thing
I don't.
Came up because Apple's mistake was in ever introducing the concept of race to emoji in the first place.
There's a pizza
Now,
one.
if I use
They should have just stayed yellow, like the Simpsons.
Yes, that's what they're saying.
Oh,
Now
but
if
there's
I
a black
use
Simpson.
Oh,
foiled again.
there's one from India. As
And then
well.
there's
No,
there's Ahmed Rachwal who runs the Quickie Mart.
No, exactly. Now, if I
Slushy, not
use
shaman.
two smiley faces to represent me and a white friend,
I
contemplate.
really thought fat shaming Carney Wilson was as low as we were going today.
Nope,
but
we're-
wow,
No.
We're-
can't even see that from here.
We are setting the audio pilot for 100 feet and taking her in.
we're Wendy Wilsoning this
Welcome
shit.
to Lufthansa.
We're Wendy Wilsoning this shit. Right below bar.
Here's your German wings. Sorry, Germany.
Yeah.
You know, but this whole article brought me back to the idea of LGBTQRST, LMPURS.
You're right.
Because we try to be so inclusive,
Yes.
and everyone tries to make sure this being politically correct about everything, which
Yeah.
we obviously are.
This show
course,
is.
I think
my
clearly.
God, it's
The epitome.
you know,
We have
hello.
done nothing but be
Talk about holding the bar up
ambassadors,
here.
yeah.
Ambassadors.
Oh, I like it.
I like
tolerance.
And you know what? You
And
can't say
inclusiveness.
you can't say ambassadors without saying ass.
Ass.
And I am happy.
I like it. Or
Thank you.
bastard.
Or,
somewhere.
yes, ambassadors. There's
I like it.
What is the food under the corn? Everyone look. I don't know what that.
I have no idea.
what corn?
On the emoji. You have to find it.
Oh,
I don't know.
shit.
Seriously, why would
stop?
But
I-
it goes
I
to
will
a
promise
place.
you one thing. If you send me an emoji, I will ride my bike over here and slap bet you. Like how I met your mother.
I love the slap
Damn
bet.
2. 0 for 2.
Where are the emojis?
Oh, wow. That was a clear
Now,
shoot.
am I supposed to bend over?
No, you can.
Really?
I mean, ask.
Can you?
I mean, see how this goes.
If you
Can you?
one's a.
Yes.
Oh, I'm just asking for a friend.
Oh, nice work.
I hope he asked in Spanish.
black.
Or from his place of business. I don't
just
care
thought-
what color you are. Just have a job.
I just thought kind of fucked up that it doesn't matter. You try to do something, and I'm sure that they thought that it was this.
Well, because I believe there was a campaign for it.
Right.
Okay,
But
so
no,
what?
no, no.
Aaron just sent
It's
one.
an acorn, I
what-
think.
What is that one? She
First
just
guess.
sent.
Oh.
Because that's what punctuates a sentence. A fucking acorn.
this was
or
the-
a butt
is it
plug.
an acorn?
Maybe it's a butt plug.
Oh, that's fun.
Kat, I don't have your number either.
I don't
Aaron's
think
saying
so.
that she doesn't have
I
your
have
number,
her-
and I'm
I
not
have
doing
her
anything to
number.
help her because I don't have your number either.
I have
You
it.
don't?
No, isn't that
Oh,
strange?
that's fun. That
Well,
is strange.
by all means, give it out on the air, would you? So everybody can get to the Cat Carlson Memorial line.
I was just you could have my phone number because I don't answer my phone. So good luck. If you want to hear a phone ringing, call me.
Al, I just sent you the one that they say is ice cream. It's in.
Yeah, I know what it looks like.
Oh, now you're all
Oh
uppity.
yeah, he's all emoji.
Oh, now
no,
I
no.
know what it looks like.
No, because I've seen that one. Well, unrelated story. So a former devotee of the Samsung, it's as big as my fucking arm phones.
Right.
Something went wrong. He ran into trouble in life, really.
sad.
His phone went unresponsive, as we say in the hospital. And was unable to revive it. It was a
Yes.
sad day. But so now he has an
That
iPhone.
happened to me once with the BlackBerry Storm, and I ended up banging it on the counter at Verizon.
Yes,
To a 10-year-old.
That is my phone
To a
number.
10-year-old.
555 blah blah 42. Call it.
Well, we all know Jenny's number.
So-
8675309.
It's the true
Is
story.
your zip code 262?
Oh, that is
Fuck
not
you?
what I thought it was. All right, Clayton, I did not know that was what the bag of poop looked like. So So he comes to work and he has a new phone, and this guy never talks. Like,
Right.
he is, I swear to God, half the time he's just a functioning mute. Because he says
They're out there.
nothing.
God
I've
love
known
So
him
you
for
two are
years.
never confused
Can
for
you
each
please
other.
write down
No.
functioning mutes?
Yeah, please write down all
Yeah.
functioning mutes.
Yeah.
So never says anything. Well, all of a sudden he's like following me around and he's asking me questions about my phone and updates, and I'm like, listen. First off, when did you learn to talk? Second, are we friends? Because I didn't really know you knew my name. And third, I don't know anything about my phone except for how to play the music.
You're Val, right?
Yeah. Now I've heard people address you over the phone and they call you Val. Oh, it was one of the funniest fucking things. And finally, it took me till midnight to finally ask a follow-up question. I'm like, what? What?
Oh, that's your question?
Yeah, and he's like,
what
do you mean? He's like, I'm like, you have been asking me questions about my phone for 6 hours. What the fuck is wrong with you? You use that giant Samsung that I just point and stare at all the time. And he's like, oh, I had to get a new phone.
Was this circa
then we-
1990?
So we had no, because
The Galaxy Note.
the Galaxy Note is gigantic.
It's
It's a
enormous.
phone?
It's
It's a
about the
phone,
size
yeah.
of this.
Oh.
And
It's
he's-
what they call a phablet. It's
a
halfway between a
a
phone and a tablet.
Phablet.
I know.
I have never heard that word.
Google
You
it.
fucking
P-H-A-B-L-E-T.
I don't think
It's
you're
a
allowed to
thing.
say that.
I like that.
Excuse me.
Fucking like.
Yeah,
Anyway,
phablet.
it sounds derogatory, so I just thought I'd hit that.
How do you spell that, sir or ma'am?
Well, anything with a good PH sound, it should be spelled with PH. I
Sound
give
like
away.
Cindy Crawford.
H-U-C-K-I-N-G-P-H-I-K.
Tom, I am a joy to work with because I just ignore you for the whole time. You'd actually never know I was there, except for the nonstop monologue going on from my corner.
How about Broadway and Judy Garland? and
Because people
Dexter.
always, someone would be like, well, you know her. I'm like, nope, who is she? They're like, she works here for years. I'm like, oh, okay.
Good for her.
They're like, she's married. I'm like, why would I ask someone that? I don't care. She's got 2 kids. Why would I ask someone that? I don't care.
I care less about the
legit.
kids.
Yeah.
Be afraid.
Well, if I don't like,
I like that people think I might ask something about your life. No,
Why would I ask a
why would
personal
I-
question?
if I don't like Will, how do you think I feel about his brother?
Can you imagine how I feel about his Oh, honey.
Oh, wait till the moonshine kicks in an hour or two.
Oh, honey.
boy.
Have you wrapped up that story?
You should all over
We're
it,
just
so.
killing them.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, no. No, the
I was
recycling
throwing
rants
out
are real.
political
We just keep
commentary,
knocking 'em out of the park.
commentary, and I thought, what, commentary? Fuck
I had not heard
that.
anything about that. Thanks for bringing it up. I will write a letter to my,
Absolutely.
I'll sternly worded letter
That's
To your
right.
congressman.
to somebody. I don't know.
Always
Kirsten
send a
Sell.
I
copy
mean,
to your
hashtag
congressman.
white women's problems for us. But.
All right, kids, we have made it through the first hour, and we're gonna start drinking more. We're gonna break out the
Drink your
moonshine.
moonshine.
We're gonna get a lot of things going on. Coming back with the drinking word. That should have wrap it up.
Well, apparently I
My
don't
God.
want champagne. Whoa.
Alrighty, kids. Hour 2 and 3 coming. Join us in the chat room if you haven't already, and if you're already there, thank you.
Drink more, people. Drink more.
They'll just talk more over me. We'll be back in just a minute on call on Q Talk America. Cheesy Pete's.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Wait, you have to let me quote Laura,
What?
because Laura's got me down here.
What?
No. Thanks. But no.
But no.
Like, that's pretty much how I wake up every morning. No. Thanks. But no.
No. No matter what time of day it
We
is.
exactly doesn't matter.
Does it fucking
No.
matter? Hi again, everybody. It's the beginning of hour 2. This is the show. We do it every Tuesday night, whether you like it or not, because you don't have to listen. If you don't like what we say,
Fuck it.
enjoy your free time.
You want a raspberry in it?
Kat Carlson,
I'll thank you.
Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. I'm Clayton McKee. The show's named after me,
Notice
but I
I'm
have
not
absolutely
giving
no
it
control.
Kinda.
So kinda. If you were listening as we ended the end of the last hour, you heard right before I cut her off, the lovely Kat Carlson said this. Which just made me laugh.
Yeah.
Going back to that segment, the llamas with hats. God,
Those are funny.
If
Funny,
you weren't listening,
funny
then
shit.
look up llamas with hats. It's really very
And
funny.
then while you're ignoring my section later, you
Yeah.
should.
okay.
I'm
How do you know?
We're
Let's
just
be
playing the
realistic.
odds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
just
Playing the odds.
Hey, flip a coin.
You should look up SNL's Asian doll thing, because when you were talking about the emojis
I
and
saw
going too
that.
far, like a couple weeks ago, Starbucks tried to do that. Ask me about race relations or something on a cup
Right.
of coffee. Okay, first off, the cup of coffee's not in my hand, so my idea of race relations is get a fucking job,
Okay.
no matter what race you are,
Right?
until I have the cup of coffee in my hand. And then of course world peace.
Of course.
Duh.
And then once I have the
Yes.
cup of coffee in my hand, why am I talking to you? I
Yeah,
have my coffee.
We're done.
Can I leave now?
I think
Yeah.
our relationship just ended.
I'm moving on.
I mean, amicable. But that's what I think about this, the emoji thing. But if you listen to that, if you watch that skit SNL did about trying to create an Asian doll, and she can't wear anything,
Asian
she can't
American
say
doll.
anything, Asian American, because everything comes off as racist. So it's a doll that can do or say absolutely nothing. It just sits there.
Sure.
And she can have no personal features.
Can't dress her with anything because it'll look.
Oh, right.
Can't wear her hair against
anything
her.
she does would be racist. And we talked about it a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
It is one of the funniest SNL commercials
Yeah.
ever.
Okay, before we get
watch
going
it.
too much further into the
I like
hour,
it.
this is where we start the drinking game, and it starts off a little bit like this.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
That's how it's supposed to go down.
Oh my gosh, the
What do we
off-air
want?
comments. Well, how did it go? What do we want? Moonshine! When do we want it?
An hour ago when you told us about it, bitch.
Well, you're over there stealing my
I
champagne.
thought we were going back to say what we originally said during the off camera. I didn't know.
Not what you thought.
I didn't
I'm
get
so
my.
glad. I'm so glad we rehearsed that. That was good.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
Hub still gets his. Oh, okay. That's funny.
husband still gets. Yeah. What?
Oh, yeah.
I love you too. Don't you have to go to work? That would be me when I was married too. Yeah. Are you done? Because you got to go to work.
Laura, what are you saying? Clayton, they do know you the buttons. What the hell does that mean?
She's saying they do know that you have the buttons. Like
Oh.
you could shut us up if you wanted to.
Yeah, but it's so difficult. Then the repercussions are ugly.
It's true.
Oh, this smells just as crack infused as it did the last
Oh
time.
no.
Yeah.
The last time the world ended. Now I love it. Now how can this end anywhere but vomiting? I have a lovely Chardonnay
Nice
from
Chardonnay,
Chamisal.
sure.
From Chamisal Vineyards. I have a bottle of champagne that I keep getting closer and closer to my bosom.
Yeah.
As if I'm going to milk it.
That I'm going to keep over here.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's that.
Sure.
It's just a different venue. And now moonshine.
And don't forget the pretzels with peanut butter in them. So
Okay.
the mixing of
Yeah,
all of
that,
it.
as far as I know, that doesn't have liquor in it.
No, it doesn't. But I'm
Not
just
yet.
saying,
Not
you're
yet.
mixing.
Allegedly.
You're doing a lot of
If
mixing.
I put these nuts into this, we'll have
Oh!
I'm glad-
horchata.
I am glad
It'll
there's.
be horchata.
I'm glad there's video.
I believe it's pronounced D's nuts.
Yep.
And
These nuts.
Horchata.
Horchata.
Well, our drinking word, is that what we're on?
We haven't got there yet.
can it be D's nuts?
D's nuts. I was hoping for moonshine, but I'll go with D's
Go with
nuts.
moonshine.
But
I'll
wait,
go with
but
moonshine.
Go Bears.
But wait, who's D?
Funny.
Bruce Jenner's
See,
new lover.
go with moonshine.
Stop it.
According to Diane Sawyer on ABC on April 22nd.
Yeah, I
She
read.
was
Alright.
trending on Twitter today.
April 24th.
Bruce Jenner.
Oh, it's because she's drinking.
Sure.
Is it now, Kat? I'm going to defer to you for this.
Indeed.
Is D's nuts DEEZ nuts?
2 E's and a Z.
Yeah, that's it. I just want to make sure
D's nuts.
before I put this up.
All right,
on
Laura,
the-
we're doing puff, puff, pass, but we're doing it with liquor.
we're doing it's sip sip slurp. Different one.
Right.
Different thing we're
Oh,
doing.
boy.
So for those of you who
I
don't know
believe,
what
I
we're
believe
talking about,
moonshine might
I
be the more
appreciate
So
fun.
D's
Harrison.
nuts.
Chat room, in
Now you
case you
tell me-
haven't been around for a moonshine night.
Is that right?
Fasten
Is
your
that what you want?
seatbelts.
Yeah.
They
D's
are
nuts.
about to get
D's
shattered.
nuts.
D's nuts is their drinking
It's
word.
an internet meme thing.
Oh, I don't know much about that. I heard they banned internet memes in the Russia.
In the Russia.
Or for Christ's sake, not in the Russia.
He puts D's nuts to his mouth and he's already giving
You
a definite
leave
article
these
to
nuts out of
Russia.
it.
God damn, this is the most unassuming shit.
Oh, I know.
It is-
Applebee's would serve it if they could.
Yeah.
It tastes like an apple pie.
Yeah.
Would you like some apple pie?
Just some apple pie.
Have some of these nuts here, baby.
Else nits going into the glass.
What?
Spell check is fucking with everybody today.
How's nuts go? Yeah, Tomo.
All right.
All right, we
If
are on.
memory serves, we're on some
Is
kind
this
of a.
headline thing. Is this my
yeah,
story?
headlines, that's what it's called.
Well, this isn't. Here we go.
What did these nuts do now?
What is this?
It's just fucking delicious.
The
and
fuck,
wrong.
DAFUQ. The fuck.
Uber drivers,
I like-
please show up at this house in about an hour and
In about 2
51
hours.
minutes.
I
Yeah.
don't have to go anywhere. You all have to leave, but you
Well,
have a bite.
what do you think? We've had it before. Your
Oh yeah, this is your
This
first.
is terrible.
So I'll have another sip.
Yeah.
Let me try it again, just to see.
This stuff is no good. We
Pass
should
it
really,
along, pass it along,
we
pass
should
it
really protect the public from this.
Yeah.
And so we will.
And if you listen back to the first time we had it, how
Oh.
long? I mean, God bless him for
He held
out for a
resisting.
good long
He
time.
held
He
out for a
did.
good long time.
No, I'm good with my
but
crown
made up
diet.
for it because
No,
he
no.
forgot to sip because he was really thirsty by
Yeah.
the time
Sure.
it hit him.
That's why I now do water here, cocktail there. Gotta keep,
Cocktail there.
Gotta keep mama
Cocktail
hydrated.
there. I like how you stopped at one cocktail, like you're not sitting in front of two with one coming at you.
No, but I've emptied that one.
Oh, good call.
I meant to pour some of that in here so I could just sip as I go, but here we go.
Oh, good.
A Vietnam War veteran in Utah says that he's surprised over the reason for the denial of his request for a personalized license plate commemorating the year that he was wounded and awarded a Purple Heart. Arnold Breitenbach of St. George, Utah, applied for a license plate with the designation CIB-69, representing the Combat Infantryman's Badge that he received in the year that he was awarded the Purple Heart. The Utah Division of Motor Vehicles denied his request, citing state regulations prohibiting the use of the number 69 because of its sexual connotations. Now, in a letter from the DMV, a line stated that while your intended meaning behind the request of plate CIB 69 is honorable, the Division of Motor Vehicles is required to follow law and the law of Utah when approving personalized plates. Now, Breitenbach, who served as a gunner on an Army armored personnel carrier, said that he doesn't think everyone has such a dirty mind that they would be
Filthy
offended by
fuckers.
this. Quote, they've got Viagra ads all over the place. I can't imagine myself sitting on the sofa with my parents when I was a little kid having something like that on TV. In today's day and age, it seems like everything is out in the open. Now, Breitenbach wrote Governor Gary Herbert asking for help with this, but he was referred to the established appeals process, and his appeal was subsequently denied in January. Breitenbach decided against further appeal, saying it just really wasn't worth the time and the expense. He ended up with getting a standard personalized, a Purple Heart logo on his license plate without his CIB 69 designation. By the way, he was wounded when a rocket-propelled grenade struck his armored personal carrier while he was in the gun turret. He was temporarily blinded, but his Purple Heart comes as a result of damage to his hearing, he said. So you cannot get a personalized license plate with a number 69 at all. I wonder if you did the year, like if it was the year 1969, could you do it?
1969.
But I guess just the 69 by itself is the flag.
Right. But his wasn't a year. That was his.
It was CIB-69.
No, 69's the year he got that badge. That's what he's saying. The CIB.
Oh, well then, yeah, put the 19 in front of it.
Yeah, well, maybe there just wasn't room. I don't know.
Oh, I thought
Maybe it was already taken.
Yeah, it could have been taken
Yeah.
too. Sure. So
I mean, it wasn't close attention, but I was paying attention.
I'll allow it.
I'm not saying I'm going to take a written test later.
There will be a test.
talking about dim nuts.
Yeah.
D's nuts.
D's nuts.
Dim nuts. Dim nuts.
D's nuts. D's nuts. Dem nuts. Dem nuts. What's that song?
I don't know. You're making it up as you go
Dem
along there.
bones, dem
sweetheart.
bones,
Dem-
dem bones,
Yeah.
yeah.
The knee bones connected to the
We
leg
can't hear the
bones.
people talking in
Similar.
your head, sweetheart. Let's be clear.
Don't be hiding that
Fucking
shit.
Fike.
Very nice. I'll allow it.
Oh, so she's gonna put the moonshine
I
away.
got a whole bottle of champagne.
You'll be fine.
You're threatening the wrong
We're
gal.
passing it. Oh no, he'll become bitchy after a minute.
How in this room, in this house, is anybody fighting over booze?
I know. I like that she said, I'm going to get bitchy in a few minutes. Really? Like an hour ago.
Are we on the
Sorry.
delay or are you?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
I don't recall there being any. Go ahead, take it
it.
away.
So we can. we can serve divorce papers in a multitude of ways. We can. I've learned that that you
In your
can
many
even
divorces?
Get, nope.
Many.
In other people's divorces.
I've just poured it like
that
this.
you can.
Well,
Nice. That you can even get divorced by default. Like, I mean, I've learned that there are different.
Oh, yeah,
things
if you
that
don't
can happen.
contest it sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but now we can use Facebook. Well, at least in this one instance, we can use Facebook to serve divorce papers. I mean, how many different fun ways can we use Facebook?
That's a fun way.
They have emojis on Facebook.
Well,
Yeah, and it comes
some are
with a
of color.
steaming pile of dog crap
That's it.
that might be ice cream.
It could be chocolate ice
Depending
cream.
on how you feel
You
about the
don't know.
divorce.
Or however you self-identify.
Is it the cold shoulder or are you just shitty?
It's however you self-identify. A Brooklyn woman scored a judge's approval to legally change her relationship status to single on Facebook. In a landmark ruling,
A
Manhattan
landmark.
Supreme Court Justice
Landmark.
Matthew Cooper is allowing a nurse named Eleonora Baidu, I'm making that up, maybe, I'm not sure, to serve her elusive husband
Does she have a
with
sister
divorce
named Erica?
papers. I know that's totally her husband.
She's a singer.
You gotta write lyrics. You gotta write lyrics.
It's different spelling.
Erica's a singer.
To serve her elusive husband with divorce papers via a Facebook message. Badu, 26, is granted permission to serve defendant with the divorce summons using a private message through Facebook, with her lawyer messaging Victor Sena Blood-Drazuki.
I believe you. D's nuts believe you.
I'm putting the drinking word back on the screen for those watching because I don't know what the fuck you just said.
But I'm gonna drink to
some
it.
of the
It
letters.
sounded a lot like D's nuts.
It could have been.
D's nuts
two
got
things.
divorced
Yes.
on Facebook.
A, what country is this occurring in?
America.
Where are
Brooklyn.
they?
Brooklyn.
Oh.
What
But
country?
here's the other part of it.
Epcot Center. Move on.
For Blood Dessert Kabuki. he may not. He may or may not be in Brooklyn. That's all I'm saying.
But he
Let's
is on
read
Facebook.
on. Let's read on. We don't know. The
Current location. You know why? He didn't turn on the location on his phone, so we don't know where he is.
The transmittal. There you go.
The
shall be
transmittal.
repeated by plaintiff's attorney to defendant once a week
They're gonna ping
for
him.
3
They're gonna ping him
consecutive
like a
weeks
fucking submarine.
until acknowledged by her hard-to-find hubby.
He's the MH380.
I think
What's
it's
that
the
play?
new law, and it's necessary.
The Hunt for Red October.
Said Baidu's lawyer. His client, Blood Dazuki kid.
Bukaki. Yeah, Jenny, that's it. All right. Okay. You,
Tied the knot back in a
Sir
civil ceremony.
or the Lord or Lady
And-
Bukaki.
yeah, you
I'm on
need to
board.
have one sip
Blood
of moonshine
Dazuka Bukaki.
between every sentence of that story. Because I need Blood Bukaki's name to get better
many-
and better.
How many
Blood
sources?
Bukkake is not
I need to
okay.
know. How many sources did you vet this story through?
Rose.
Yeah, where did you come up with
That
this?
only Tomo can call me Rose.
Is this Onion?
No, this is on the Daily News.
I am acting as Tomo's Rose surrogate.
This was from the Daily Show. What
Daily News. Blood Dazuki.
Not the same thing.
is that similar to the Weekly World News?
Maybe. His client and Blood Dazuki
Client?
could. What's our drinking word?
D's nuts.
These nuts. His client and
I know,
Blood
you're like 3
Dazuki
sentences
D's
in, you haven't drank. Get to work, bitch.
Oh, remember?
tied the knot back in a civil ceremony in 09.
Ceremony?
Shut it. But their relationship crumbled when Blood Dazuki Dradra.
D's nuts. Drink.
These nuts. Reneged. When this asshole reneged on his promise to have a traditional Ghanaian wedding ceremony as well.
Oh, God.
Both are from Ghana. That's why. That part wasn't in the story. She wanted.
You just made
their
it up?
Yeah, that part. Well,
Yeah.
no, but
Oh, it wasn't
but
in the
that's
story
why.
earlier.
Right,
We're
right,
losing
right.
our credibility.
As a result, the wedding was never consummated, and the husband and wife have never lived together.
She couldn't find him.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he didn't turn on his current
Well,
location on his
and
phone.
Blood Dazuki Dem Nuts does not.
These nuts.
Damn it.
Jesus, get his last name right. How disrespectful.
So in all the previous weeks, we have a variable of what the drinking word is.
Well,
Tonight, we're holding
apparently-
yours true to
to the
form.
fire. Feet to the fire on this. Feet to the fire.
Apparently, Blood Dazuki D's nuts
God.
still doesn't want a divorce. He wants to. I don't know. He
Well, how do we know? We can't
Well,
find
he
him.
kept in touch with his wife by phone and Facebook, but that was it. The last address plaintiff has for defendant is in an apartment that he vacated in 2011.
After all those times fucking up their names, you could have just called them plaintiff and defendant.
It's more fun the other way.
Oh, it is.
Anyway.
Just call them Lord or Lady.
Rose, I just wanted to tell you that there was an out, and you're saying no love story.
It's okay. The post office has no forwarding address for him. There's no billing address.
Oh, now the USPS is
and
involved
to
in
his
this.
prepaid cell phone. It's a prepaid cell phone. And the Department of Motor Vehicles has no record of him. We tried everything, including hiring a private detective. Nothing.
That's 3
The
sentences.
first
Just
Facebook
drink.
message for Blood Drizuki draw.
These nuts.
These nuts.
These nuts. God damn it. She's illiterate.
Anyway, just so everybody knows,
part of an outreach program
I want
for
you
those
to be
that can't
clear.
read.
I want you to be clear.
Thank you. I want to be clear.
So far, he hasn't responded.
So far.
I'll keep you.
Remember last week when you thought the story about the dead old guy was
Oh my
funny?
God, I was
This
laughing
one was funny.
so hard.
Remember last week when that went wrong?
Yeah, I was laughing so hard with your mom about that story. God damn, that's still
Bukaki
funny.
has a ceremony.
A ceremony.
Ceremony.
Oh no.
I can't believe we're this far gone into this, and I have a serious story before I have
Damn
two
it.
funny ones.
It rang a
I rang the
bell.
bell.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Clayton's talking, I think.
Well,
I don't know, we'll be sure.
I have another story that it's not as nearly as funny as that.
Oh.
It might be. Just
No,
wait,
it's not.
you
No,
don't
it's
know.
no.
Each
It's,
sentence you gotta sip. Hold
it's
on.
not gonna. It's not gonna be.
Wait
no,
for it.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I got to get through this story. Then I have two funny ones.
Alright.
This one was kind of funny, but I was kind of annoyed when I found out about it. And then
Oh, you got your own, bitch.
Then I
It's a
vetted.
roller coaster of emotion.
Then I vetted the story and got even more pissed. I figured if Aaron was in the chat room, he'd be chiming like a son of a bitch on this, but we'll see.
He's got a boy.
This is a true story, a real headline that I just pulled just today. The U.S. Forest Service is investigating an expired permit that Nestle has been using to draw water out of a national forest in Southern California for its bottled water business. An investigation by the Desert Sun found that Nestle Waters North America's permit to transport water across the San Bernardino National Forest expired, guess what, in '88.
Oh.
The water is piped across the national forest, then loaded onto trucks, then to a plant where it is bottled as Arrowhead 100% Mountain Spring water. Since the issue was raised and I became aware of how long the permit has been expired, I've made it a priority to work on this reissuance project. The U.S. Forest Service is investigating an expired permit that Nestle has been using to draw this water for all this time. Now, apparently, obviously,
Use your words.
You've all heard about the drought that's going on in there, and they are the largest bottled water
yes.
manufacturer in the country.
Oh, I did see something
For
about
this.
week.
So they have been pulling this water out of here like a son of a bitch and making stupid money on it.
Good
But
jillions.
apparently the reapplication process, I guess it was like 18 months. And, back in the day, just like things used to be here in town, we've talked about it before where restaurants will go, well, Miggy did it with when he took over Pookie's. Nobody knew. They thought it was a transmission shop. The city did. They didn't realize it was a restaurant that had been operating for 15 years.
right.
Oh, wait, no, that was funny.
So my guess is back in the day in '88 when all of this was going on, somehow,
They thought they were making fudge with these nuts.
it got lost in the paperwork. The paperwork got lost in the
Well
shuffle.
played.
They didn't know what the hell was
Well
going to go on with all this
That
stuff.
took a minute.
So anyway, I just thought it was interesting that in the
Worth
midst
it.
of all
Totally
of this
worth it.
drought that's going on in California with all this and the water rationing they're doing, well, part of it is that Nestle's been pulling fucking water out of this thing forever and ever.
And that drought is horrible. If you have a chance, Google the California drought in pictures.
It is crazy to see.
Horrible.
And the water table. So luckily, I have some things written down on this same
Look
topic.
at us with the
Okay, so now that
investigative news.
just because I'm still mad at vegans for this cow's milk bullshit.
fucking vegans.
So almonds take, what is it, a gallon? Somebody help me out. It's like a gallon of water
Oh.
per almond, or it's
Oh, yeah.
or it's
It's
more.
crazy.
So like the almond thing has got to stop. So if you're and now cows need to eat grass, you need water for grass. But what is worse, like almond milk, where you're like wasting all these almonds and all this water to make a fucking almond, or drink the cow's milk? So almond milk off the
Well,
table. I'm
here's
claiming
my-
drought.
To
Yeah.
another
Here's
state
my
where they
deal,
got an
though.
abundance of
Well,
water.
I'm saying
No,
D's
but-
nuts on the almonds.
For coconut milk and almond milk for people that have severe dairy allergies, I get it.
Again, we
No,
wait,
because
just like
back-
gluten free.
No.
we're never picking on people with legitimate
Right,
allergies.
exactly.
Yeah, no, we hate the hipsters.
But I mean,
Right.
so
You're drinking
no,
almond milk to
We
piss me
need the
off.
hipsters? Is that what you said?
Aaron's
no, we hate
brother-
the hipsters.
Hipsters.
Fuck those hipsters.
Aaron's brother has a severe
Right. And in his
allergy,
case, then
and-
yes, it makes perfect sense
Right.
to go with almond milk.
But to make it in the smaller quantity, he makes his own and make it in like a smaller quantity.
Okay,
kind
that's
of,
as stupid as making barbecue sauce. They sell it at the store. I meant that with love.
good.
Ernie's brother.
butter.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things where you start to think about it as you're looking through the store and you're trying to make healthy choices. Like,
Sure.
is almond milk with D's nuts worth the water that it takes to grow almonds. I say no. Based on no scientific fact, I'm
I
going to
say
go fully
no.
Republican here and say no.
Well, and
And you can
No
grow
fact.
cows
I like it.
everywhere. You can grow cows everywhere.
you sure can.
And you can grow them in places where grass just happens. You don't have to grow them in California where grass is not naturally growing because it's a
Right.
desert, fuckers. And then my other thing is, and I can't remember who some member of us was having this conversation with all the water for all these nuclear power plants to cool down the reactors takes so much water and it wastes the water and you end up with water. Why not solar power? Like, why is
Sure.
California embracing and Arizona embracing nuclear power when the wastewater from keeping a nuclear reactor cool is gigantic?
Yeah,
Solar power.
125,000
Keep your water-
gallons a minute for Palo Verde.
Is that you and I that were talking
Yes,
about that?
you and I
Yeah,
were talking
I wrote
about
it.
that.
I wrote it
It's
down right there.
insane.
Nuclear power in a drought makes no sense whatsoever with the waste of the water. You can't reuse it because it's radioactive. That might be what someone's important announcement is next week. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, it's just a cool.
Anybody that remembers Steve Martin from the day remembers that
No.
his important upcoming announcement was that he was radioactive.
The water. No. The water.
tuned.
The water that they use for the nuclear is not radioactive. It's the cooling tower water. It's simply like a huge evap cooler.
Right, but when
it's not radioactive.
when it drains off, it's not usable, right? Isn't that
Well,
one
you
of the
can't
things?
drink it.
It's certainly
it
not
drains
potable.
off somewhere else.
Right.
But
It's
then it has
not-
to be purified. Right.
Right.
But it's not radioactive.
So we're back to it's not radioactive, but
It's
you're
just not
certainly not
use it,
going to
right.
drink it.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like,
Which I don't understand why they don't just recycle it. An evap
I
cooler.
don't mean to always be mad at
recycles-
vegans, but I just can't buy that no milk shit. Like that dog don't
It's not
hunt.
natural.
No, Milk's delicious.
Without cheese, life shouldn't
Especially-
go on.
Oh, I have a cheese.
Oh,
I have a cheese
a world
story.
without cheese is
Is
a
it-
world I don't want to live in.
No.
My next story is a cheese story.
I'm gonna,
Oh
put
my
cheese,
God.
I'm gonna put cheese above bacon. I'm gonna go out on a limb with these nuts and say I like cheese better than bacon.
I'm gonna have some more of these nuts here.
That's a tough
you go.
call.
It's a tough call, and I may
Oh, no.
I may regret
Here's-
it in
No,
like 5
cheese
minutes.
more than bacon.
Here's
Damn it, you know.
I'm gonna need a
here's
snack in a minute.
there's pizza.
I know.
Here's the ideal scenario: is
Ooh.
it's bacon with cheese,
Fuck me.
maybe a little egg and a croissant.
You just described Nirvana.
I appreciate the
Not the group, because one of those guys is
Croissant.
dead. And that, I don't think they kept him on a croissant.
As you will.
It smells like Teen Spirit.
I went all falsetto on you. All
Laura,
right.
Laura, that's good to know.
Well,
Falsetto child.
hell of a day at sea, sir.
Laura's got the toots. Okay.
So,
Well, then you figure even if it didn't, Jenny, even if it didn't take 5 gallons a day of water to make pot, you need 5 gallons of water to drink once you smoke the pot.
Right. Allegedly.
Tomato. These are
Soy milk is kind of sweet for me
Next caller.
from
Next
these
caller.
nuts.
next caller.
so
Poughkeepsie, are you there?
Darren Sharper. Does that name mean anything to our panel? Darren Sharper.
I think he gave.
Cousin to Daryl
No,
Duller.
Yeah,
No,
he's got.
no,
he gave me
no.
a scorching case of herpes, if I remember
He
correctly.
was related to Blood Dazuki, the damn nuts. D's nuts.
D's nuts.
Christ Almighty! You better write it down. She's got to drink when she gets the drinking word wrong. She is fucked, ladies and gentlemen.
This is fun
That's the
for-
color
this is fun
commentary.
for all of us.
Anyway. Now, Darren Sharper was a Minnesota Viking
When will you be sure?
Oh,
back
that's
in
why,
the day.
Yeah, I
no,
just
no,
fell
but
asleep a
this
little
was
bit.
a big day in Arizona, New Orleans, parts of Las Vegas, and California because Darren Sharper had been a defensive player for the Vikings and for the Green Bay Packers, just a problem, and New Orleans Saints. He also decided to go on a raping rampage.
Oh, that's fun.
In those areas,
Like you do.
drugging
like you do.
and drugging women.
No.
In doing so.
This is another one of your funny stories, huh?
No, actually, not even a little bit. But there was something in it that I found really, truly, really interesting. So he has a number of charges filed against him, and he's found guilty in all these different places. So he's right now in California, and he has been in prison since February, and
call.
is on
Remain there for quite some time, I should hope.
Oh, absolutely. Now, the interesting thing about this is that I'm going in between these two stories.
Nuts.
With his parole, is that he reached a plea deal in all of the rape cases that will likely result in him spending less than a decade in prison, as far as being in prison. While some have argued, and with good reason, that Sharper pun intended, truly, got off easy, he will hardly be a free man when he has finished serving his sentence. Because as
That was
part
the
of the
one
plea
pun I would have been
agreement-
down with.
All right.
Those are
As
kind of
part
these nuts
of-
I'm in with.
As part of his plea agreement, Sharper will be required to register as a sex offender
Like you do.
and a narcotics offender, which
Oh.
I didn't know about that.
I didn't know you had to register
I
for
didn't
that,
either.
but
During his first 3 to 5 years of, quote, freedom, he'll be monitored by a GPS at all times.
And raped regularly, right?
According to the
Yes.
advocate, the former pro
that should be the
bowler
punishment,
Yeah.
really.
will no longer be legally permitted to drink alcohol or go to bars.
Which is a pretty common.
And then but this was the part that I'd never
Condition of
heard
probations
of.
and
And
paroles.
then there's the penile plethysmograph.
D's nuts adjacent.
What's a plethysmograph?
Plethysmograph.
Let Al see it. He's a
Hang
the
on.
person.
Stand by.
We'll let the
Spell
advocate
it.
explain what it is. It says Sharper will be subject to lie detector tests, and while on lifetime probation in Arizona, when he has to come back here, because this is an Arizona thing, to the penile plethysmograph.
D's nuts.
I'm looking it up. Hang on.
In which a sensor is attached to the penis.
So every time he gets an erection, it rings a bell.
While an
and an
array
angel
of
gets its
sensor
wings.
His
images
wings.
flashes before his eyes to gauge arousal. Isn't that what the Mormons did, like up at BYU? Like, truly, isn't that what?
Well, there's all those
Every
things.
time D's nuts sing,
An
angel
angel gets its wings. It's a new rap song by Drake.
After he kissed Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She licked him.
Anyway,
It is fascinating.
I
And no
read it.
old
Ever
people
heard of
died,
that?
so she's ahead.
have you ever heard of that?
No, it's but
no, but I'm looking it up.
And I'm
It's-
trying to figure out what the exact reason is. Like
so you know where he is when you
not the GPS, but about the idea that
Wouldn't it be good to know where your dick is anytime you need it?
no, the GPS I'm fine with.
fairly aware.
But I mean, I get the GPS part. This penile seismograph.
No, it just said
thing.
where is he when he's getting aroused. So
Seismograph.
let's say later on there's a raped woman
No.
at that location.
different.
Well,
There's GPS, and then he's
well,
subject
hopefully
to
these
this
two
other
devices
stuff.
can talk like an Apple iPad. and
According to
iPhone.
It's
Wikipedia, for
different.
sexual offenders, it is typically used to determine the level of sexual arousal as the subject is exposed to sexually suggestive content, such as pictures, movies, or audio.
Yes.
Although there are individuals who have claimed that this is not always appropriate for the evaluation of sexual preferences or treatment effects.
Oh, it is. Okay, now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's when they put the electrodes on D's nuts and
Right.
they show you stuff.
Right.
And if you start to get aroused, they zap you. That's part of the Homo Nomo program.
Correct. That's what they're using with him.
Yeah, well, they're
That's why I was
they're
like,
saying
wait
it's
a
often
minute.
used as a method of identifying which sexual offenders will go on to commit new sexual crimes. So he will submit
Yeah.
to this study so that people can, whoever the people that are
I mean, it's very
monitoring him.
Clockwork Orange if you're familiar.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
Sharper violates the
just
terms
kill
of his
him, you know what I
probation,
mean?
he would be subject to another 14 years in prison. He'll serve his parole in California for several years, where Sharper will not be committed to travel further than 50 miles from his home unless a state official approves it. After his parole in California is completed, he'll move here to Arizona. Everyone will be notified that he's a sex offender,
I'll wait for my phone call.
which is fine. And the same rules
sit right
will
by the
apply
phone.
here for Sharper.
It always comes with a little pamphlet in the mail, and you get to get a picture, and you can decide if they're
Right?
cute or not.
Yeah, like, all right, harass me.
Startling, though.
I dare ya.
Would you
I'm
like
with Jenny.
dinner?
I'm with
Yeah.
Jenny. Just keep him in jail. Just,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
whatever.
at a
But,
certain point, like,
but that penile arousal thing was it made me think of the Homo Nomo and the whole
Yeah.
nine. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah, because now we're just doing torture and like.
But what is I don't understand the purpose. I
Well,
understand
sometimes
you
it's done
read
it-
that, but it doesn't.
Sometimes it's used as, what do they call it? Like reparative therapy, where you like.
Right.
It's like a Pavlovian response.
Aversion therapy.
Aversion therapy, where you would get the zap, like the it's called aversion therapy. You should ask him about it.
36
But where
times
you
now,
associate
36
pain with something that you would normally think would be arousing. But the other thing is they can also, instead of inflicting that pain, they can just find out, like, do you still have those urges? Like if you watch something violent on TV.
Sure.
One of the things that they used to do that they said a lot in the 80s, and they started to change how they made horror movies just ever so slightly, was that they would have a murder happen after a girl had sex. So there would be a sex scene with a young girl, like Friday the 13th movies, and then she would immediately die. Like the the promiscuous girls always died in those
And
late
Halloween.
70s, early 80s movies. And the
Sure.
virgin lives. Jamie Lee Curtis plays the
Sure.
virgin that doesn't have a guy at the house.
Right.
She's the one that lives.
Right.
So there was that thing that there was kind of a response to when you see sex on... You see sex, your response was violence because... and who knows if it was true, but there was a conversation about that for a while about following up a sexual image on screen with a violent image.
Well,
and that
and
you were conditioning people to think that one should go with the other, but that's all bullshit.
Well, and the crimes were heinous. I mean, the women couldn't do anything. They were paralyzed due to the drugs that he gave them.
Right.
And he was, the whole thing was awful. Rape
Right, so
is
he is
awful.
Bill Cosby.
The end. In many
And he's
ways.
another one that he thinks he didn't
In
do
many
anything
ways.
wrong because they weren't fighting back. He wasn't fighting someone
And
to
he
have
had
sex.
the right to
this
do
is
that,
a guy that
yeah.
needs to stay in fucking jail. Like,
No, and careful the punctuation. He needs to stay and fuck in jail.
right. And maybe, a light sedative after a mild laxative so everybody stays clean. And he gets raped a few times. You know what I mean? Like, let him know what it feels like to wake up with your butt
Well,
hurting.
and the idea that people will say
It's a little gross, but think it through. Just thinking of people's cleanliness.
D's nuts.
Sure.
I don't want to wash
That,
those
that
sheets.
using Depo-Provera can be aversion therapy, can, whatever. No.
We were in such a good buzz about 10 minutes ago, and then we've lost it.
We were kind of
We've lost
behind.
it.
We've come on
That
down
was-
from that.
I
And there's
had
a lot.
not ever heard
All right,
of that.
Rose makes a
and-
point. It's interesting.
Well,
It,
thank you.
It is.
I have zero sympathy and zero.
I have zero sympathy
Yeah.
as well. And doing this, go ahead. I just had never.
I
It's
said
here
kill
in
him.
Arizona,
No.
so I don't understand how.
I don't even
that's
think
the-
life in prison is enough. Just get rid of them.
Yeah.
Drown them.
Drown
That's a
'em.
horrible way
Drown
to die.
the bitch.
Drown
Water-
them,
waterboard.
motherfucker.
Put them
Yeah.
all on an island.
Nope. Drown them.
No, but I mean,
Drown
they always joke about they want to do it with the gays.
Yes.
Put them all on an
We
island.
found another. We have a kingdom.
We do.
Yeah.
We have a kingdom now. Close to Tomo. Apparently.
That's right.
Well, here is something that I'm sure we can all get on board with, and listen to this first statement, ladies and gentlemen. According to a recent study, if you love grilled cheese sandwiches, chances are you're having a lot of sex and your life is awesome. But if you're not a fan of grilled cheese and it's likely you're never getting laid, you're a miserable person, and you live in a van down by the river.
Down by the river.
This Sunday, April 12th, which we just passed,
Just missed.
it was National Grilled Cheese Day because
fuck did we miss that?
we live
I
because
am
we were
not-
working
I
at
feel
Pride.
I feel
It's
like I
in
did
our
not
thumbs.
celebrate appropriately.
Because we live in a nation that insists on giving every goddamn thing you can think of.
I'm
day
saying, but
of
a
its
grilled
own.
cheese sandwich needs a fucking
I'm on
holiday.
board, and
That
wait,
Easter
I
Bunny
have
gets
one
one.
Sunday.
The grilled cheese
I'm
sandwich.
gonna
In
be
honor-
very upset if I find out that the grilled cheese truck was at Pride and we got
To my knowledge, no.
Okay.
In honor of the cheesiest of days, social media company Scout conducted a survey of 4,600 people to paint a picture of life for lovers of cheese on the grill. What they discovered is that people who love grilled cheese are more likely to have sex and live happy lives. Now, here's an LA Times summary of findings of they found out. So the company surveyed 4,600 people and found that 73% of grilled cheese lovers have sex at least once a month,
Survey says.
compared to 63% of those who don't love grilled cheese and 32% of grilled cheese lovers who have sex at least
Who are these
6
people?
times a month, compared to 27% of non-grilled cheese lovers.
6 times a month.
Is
Woo.
that with
sorry.
another person or
Is that a lifetime average?
Yeah, well, I don't know. The survey also discovered that 81% of its participants who love grilled cheese said that they have donated time, money, or food to those in need, and 84% of grilled cheese fans love to travel, compared with only 78% of those who aren't fans of it. Now, while a grilled cheese sandwich may seem like a safe, all-American meal, 88% of grilled cheese fans say that they are fairly or very adventurous. 60% of adults surveyed said that they prefer a grilled cheese sandwich that mixes 2 types of cheeses. Only 40% said that they're just their regular grilled cheese in their pursuits. 81% of the people who love grilled cheese sandwiches say that they have donated their time, money, or food to those in need. The most popular cheese in America is American. 41% of people on their grilled cheese like American
America.
cheese.
American fucking cheese. That is the worst piece of shit shingle
No,
that's ever happened.
Well, let's get through the rest of the list.
I just wanted to
With these nuts.
editorialize that.
Now-
I 100% approve
Now,
of
American-
a processed cheese food.
American
yeah,
is
not
followed by cheddar at 33%.
I'm back on
Cheddar.
board.
Mozzarella at 10.
Mozzarella.
Swiss at 8. Provolone's got 6, and Brie at a mere 2%.
Well, 'cause
Where is my pepper jack cheese? Where are my spicy fans?
Not
Little-
about 4,600 people.
Little smoked Gouda, you know what I mean? Like, let's get this shit
Now,
done like grown-ups.
let's go with bread choices
survey
now.
says
Sourdough. I'm sorry.
White bread is by far the most popular choice at 51%, followed
Only
by
white people. in
America.
America.
followed by wheat, and then sourdough. Sourdough is at 13%.
They only
any
surveyed white
emojis for
people.
this?
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
then
White
it
people
goes,
places.
Rye bread
This
is
is what they did.
4%,
Of course it is.
and a baguette comes in at 3%.
I say rye bread should be
baguette?
way fucking higher.
Now, 47% say
baguette.
that they add extras to their grilled cheese, like pesto, tomato, whereas 53% say nope,
Bacon.
just cheese.
Bacon on a grilled
I-
cheese sandwich.
Bacon, motherfucker, bacon.
Smoked Gouda, pepper jack cheese, sourdough bread, a little bacon, a sliced tomato. You got yourself a fucking
Tomo
deal.
says that cheesy versatility is the sign of intelligence.
And I'm with Annette. Who the fuck doesn't love a grilled cheese sandwich?
Oh, no, I do. I
I'm
love it.
saying
I gotta
amen.
meet this fucker
Amen.
because
I
these
like
nuts
it.
got to be stopped.
Got it.
Again, a world without cheese.
Marnie, you got one more?
Well, lastly,
A world without
it's
cheese.
just we. I'm in support of North Dakota right now.
Oh.
Well,
Hey,
at least
somebody's
just
gotta be.
At least just a coffee shop there. A worker owner of a Fargo coffee shop who instituted a tongue-in-cheek ban on North Dakota lawmakers for
Don't you know?
opposing, an anti-discrimination bill says the response has been about 99.9% positive.
Oh,
And then he
geez.
made his point, even if a few people didn't like it. This gentleman, Joe Curry, one of the worker owners of the Red Raven Espresso Parlor, posted a
Espresso.
new...
Sounds dirty.
Stop it.
It sounds like these nuts are gonna get touched. But
He posted a
These
newspaper
beans.
page in the shop this month that showed the 55 Republican state House members who rejected a bill that would have prohibited discrimination based on sexual orientation in housing, government, public services, and the workplace. It was accompanied by a sign saying the legislators were banned unless accompanied by a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transsexual, queer, intersex, or asexual person.
Christ, how many people are going to show up?
asexual.
I told you, this is like the
We had
emoji of
asexuals in the
things.
parade. There's a whole group of them. Trust
There's
me.
a whole thing, yeah.
I can
Yeah.
describe what they look like to you.
The stunt got a lot
These
of
nuts.
attention, with Republican-led legislatures in Indiana and Arkansas having just rolled back their new religious objection laws under pressure from critics who considered them invitations to discriminate. Curry said he wanted to use humor to make a serious point, and that the show and to show support for his customers, whom he describes as mostly lefties in a very conservative state.
Lefties.
Lefties. Apparently, there's one person, though, that did not giggle. Democratic State Rep Josh Boshi. These nuts. A Red Raven regular
He's a hyphenate.
and the state's only openly gay lawmaker. He said he didn't like the tactic and that he would have done it differently. He doesn't say how, but that he would have.
Backwards
Oh,
cowboy.
gay and humorless. They exist.
I know. Anyway, I just thought it was a very... the band got attention on cable news shows like MSNBC. Melissa Harris Perry, Dem Nuts, These Nuts, described it as her favorite thing that happened this week and wondered aloud if Fargo was the center of LGBT rights.
You can just say
sure it
nuts. You don't even have to say
Nuts.
duh,
Duh, these,
dem,
them.
dis.
D's.
Anyway, but, good on them because that's what we were saying. You have to put up who you...
Right, who you want to discriminate
Yeah.
against. I'll approve any bill if you just want to come up and say, look, black people can't come in. Put on your fucking
Just
fucking
put it
window.
on the sign.
Gays can't come in.
We are open for business.
People who are fans of a certain sports team, you want to do all that stupid shit, knock yourself out. But,
Yeah,
but be prepared for the
not
wrath.
everyone.
Not everyone. You're
You're
right.
gonna need to bathe.
It's a good call.
Cut your nails.
Well, I
Okay.
wanted to end
What else?
this entire
care of
this
foot fungus.
headline section because we're educational. This show is an educational
yes.
show. We like to help
I
people.
remember learning something once.
once or
I
twice.
remember that time. It
So
was nice.
I just
Nice.
thought we'd go through a list.
Springtime.
I believe I educated you on something.
I doubt that.
I don't know.
Sometimes
You
when
don't doubt that.
sometimes when you're in the
Suck
bar,
on these nuts.
sometimes when you're at the bar or you're at work, and sometimes at the
Restaurant.
The restaurant.
yes, where you are, where you serve food night and day. Sometimes you lose in translation what you're hearing and what you mean to say.
Oh.
So
really?
I want
Me?
to yeah.
Oh. Uh-oh.
So instead of saying, I think you could use some more training, don't say things like, you have no fucking clue what you're doing, do you? That's a new one.
Oh, I like it.
If you ever hear somebody say that she's an aggressive go-getter, it really means she's a fucking power crazy bitch.
Nice. Yes.
Now you should do these as here's what you should say and here's what Al probably said and while he's sitting in the HR office.
Legit.
Okay, we're going to change this then. Here's what you should say. Perhaps I can work late. What Al says? And when the fuck do you expect me to do this?
See, now it makes more sense.
See, it does make a lot of sense.
What you should say, I'm certain it isn't feasible. Al says, fuck off.
I've learned something today. I'm a wise man.
Yes. Yes. And not full of yourself at all.
Based on these quotes.
What you should say, well, perhaps you should check with somebody.
No.
What Al says, tell someone who gives a shit.
Here's a quarter.
This is like Christmas.
Shove it
I
up your
love
ass.
it. You're off the hook for birthday gifts.
What you should say, oh, I wasn't involved in the project. What Al says, not my fucking problem.
I've never met you before.
Well, that's interesting. What the fuck? Oh, now the
No. That's interesting. And mine would be, I'm sorry, are you talking?
Another thing often heard in offices and it is misunderstood. I'm not sure that can be implemented in the time scale given. What Al would say is no fucking chance.
True.
What you might also get, it's going to be tight, but I'll try to fit it in.
Step right up.
These nuts will see you now.
What Al might say is, what the fuck didn't you tell me yesterday?
Oh, I went with more of a metaphor.
Right. Sure.
I said what these nuts do.
What you might hear, he's not familiar with the issue. Al might say, he's got his head up his ass. Oh, and of course, what you might hear, of course, I was always going to be home. I was going to be home only anyway. Al might say, who needs a fucking holiday? And I'll be here all goddamn night. Here we go
Thank
with it.
you, and good night.
Al, you ready?
Oh, God,
I'm going to hand the reins off to you, and let's see if we can pull this bullshit off.
A limited entertainment section! Because not much happened. We have a Broadway closing of something that I can't believe stayed open this long. New season of Orphan Black. News about Veep, news about Veep, and news about Veep. We got a dead person.
Were they on
I
Veep?
have some reviews for you for Annie Lennox and what I watched while I had what I'll call the flu.
Oh.
And this song is almost over. These nuts.
Dem nuts.
Today in China.
These nuts. Shit.
Okay, I've got down to call her Rose at all times, so I will take note of that. So,
Oh, in breaking news from the Associated Press, this is honest to God swear.
Oh.
Guam is now on board to press gay marriage licenses.
Oh.
Guam, just welcome Guam.
It's hit the territories.
Hello.
Do we know where Puerto Rico or what is our other territory?
You are
Islands?
correct.
There's some
It is the
islands?
first U.S. territory to allow gay marriage, according to the Associated Press.
What is it? The U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that you lovely island. Anyways, so Mamma Mia ends what has been a spectacular 30-some-year run at the Winter
long
Garden. And I say a 30-some-year run because they've only really done 2 shows since the early 80s with Cats. It went Cats, a couple of bullshit things in between for a couple days, and then Mamma Mia opened at the Winter Garden Theater where, funny girl played with Barbra Streisand, so I do like to do my moment of silence in front of the Winter Garden Theater. But Mamma Mia ends after 14 fucking years. It opened in late 2001. It is the 8th longest running show in Broadway history, which I can't even say. I mean, D's nuts. As we were talking about the last time I went to Pride in Toronto in 2001, or 2000 or 2001, somewhere in there. One of the things that I did because I was there the first night by myself was I went to the out-of-town trial. It was the Broadway pre-run of Mamma Mia, and that's where I saw it because it was playing with the Broadway cast, and I went to make fun of it because I was like, I got nothing fucking else to do, and no one's here with me, so I'll go see an ABBA show. Yep. Had the best time and was one of the fools dancing in the aisles and like screaming and laughing and being like, I know a lot of goddamn ABBA songs.
We all do, as it turns out.
Yeah. Well, I said that the first time I saw Muriel's Wedding, I'm like, holy shit, do I know me some ABBA songs? And so I thought, oh, fun. It has plans to go to Broadway. The cast was a lot of fun, and everything was good and well in the world. And then it ran for 14 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is a shocking run, and it's the 8th longest show in Broadway history. It's the longest running what they call a jukebox musical ever. And every time I go there and I see that Mamma Mia still plays, it has like 2 national tours. It's playing in like 3 or 4 different countries all at the same time. Like one of the most profitable shows.
Wow. And
Meryl Streep's highest grossing movie ever.
Sure. Which is wild.
Yeah. but because it just works. I mean,
sure.
We all want to be high and mighty and gall D's nuts about it, but I'm sorry, that show just fucking works, and they got me. Jaded
no, but the
bitch
fact that
I
that's
am.
her highest grossing movie is
Again,
like,
because it just works. It,
Sure.
it appeals to everyone.
Everybody! Whoa, whoa! Mamma mia! Here I go again! My, how can I resist you?
Whatever.
Mamma mia!
I like it. That's good.
And I have to tell you what struck me the most, and I was all on board for a fun jukebox musical, but the one song by them that I always kind of had in the back of my head is being just a little bit more profound than others.
Waterloo?
No.
Oh.
Was The Winner Takes It All, because it's about all their divorces. They were two couples that got divorced. They were the Fleetwood Mac of Sweden.
Oh.
And The Winner Takes It All was actually a very
good
personal
analogy.
song, and I think that's the only song they ever explained the lyrics to the girls, because those girls didn't speak
Phonetic.
English.
Yeah, they
sang
sung it all phonetically.
But The Winner Takes It All, and when that woman came down stage and sang to that guy about loss and the winner takes it all, and I was like, I'm actually tearing up over an ABBA song that's not Chiquitita, which they sang in a bathroom stall. But anyways, so just kind of funny that Mamma Mia ends this legend, wait for it, Terry run. That'll make sense in a minute.
Have you been watching a lot of that?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
The new season of Orphan Black starts April 18th on BBC America.
I'm with
Please
Harrison.
check your dials.
Laura.
No, and hating ABBA is up there with hating Wilson Phillips. Like, some people, the joke just didn't land. Like, if you didn't know how goofy they were and you weren't, like, I was 9 to 12 years old when they were, like, at their heyday. Like, to me, they were just a goofy fucking bunch of idiots, but I kept buying the albums. Like, they were almost like a novelty band because the songs were so fucking goofy. But then they got into Super Trooper and The Visitors, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, this is pretty good. And then later you're like, oh my God, I know every fucking word. It's shame-based. I'm not trying to tell you it's not.
Bring me a man after midnight.
But the one that they, oh God, and now it's going to come to me. The, take a chance, 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 take a chance.
Yes. Read
That
your
chant will
mind.
just stay in your head for the rest of life.
Take a chance on me.
And with the pretty birds
Let
that
me
flown. That still stands up as one of the best lyrics in any song. Is when the pretty birds have
Clearly,
flown.
we don't know them.
No, it's from the Take a Chance
Take a
on Me.
chance,
It's
take a chance, take a
when the
chance,
pretty birds have flown. Like when everything that's distracting you leaves, I'm still here. Take a chance on me. Like it's a great lyric when the pretty
One of those
birds have
tragic.
flown.
I'll wait for you forever.
I'll
kind
wait
of
for you.
things.
Yeah, it's got that little bit of desperation
my
and
God.
D's
I
nuts
found-
kind of
now I
like.
found more songs to play to people.
Yeah.
How did that work out?
If you change your mind, I'm the first in line.
How often do you stand there with your jukebox and
Yeah,
blasting the music?
He
and-
doesn't
learned-
even get the reference.
Oh, yes, I do.
All right.
Actually, what I do is I just find out the songs that they like, and then I burn them to CD, and I leave them at their doorstep.
Burn 'em.
The
Burn
mixtape
'em.
stalker. We've met you. We've seen D's nuts before.
I've been you.
Or I gift them because under their email address on iTunes. I just gift them music.
You just
Now-
give them. You just force it upon
That's,
them.
actually, that's actually thoughtful.
No restraining order.
Now, as
very nice of
a
you.
former stalker who was not really up to date on current events, I did not know about the mixtape stalker. And a friend of mine that I liked a little bit, probably a lot,
Sure.
was going on a road trip, and so I made him some favorite songs of mine. Well, if you know me, you know that I tend to like sappy love songs. Like I really do tend to like a little bit sappier.
Who
of a
says
pop
the world
song.
has had enough of silly love
Right,
songs?
exactly. And that probably was on it because I love that song so much. Or it would have Take a Chance, Take a Chance. Because then, like, by the end of the trip, you're going to listen to that 400 times. Love to Hate You is going to be on there by Erasure because I love to hate you. Like, it's a great lyric. Didn't realize how psychotic the mix was till he got back and was like,
Take
the
this
restraining order's tomorrow. And I looked at the titles and I was like, oh dear
Oh, God.
My therapist was called.
Out of context, these are all good songs.
If hopefully people that pay attention, Annie Lennox was on PBS this past Friday doing her nostalgia tour live from the Orpheum Theater in LA, where they were doing their best impression of New Orleans, and I honestly thought it was from New Orleans.
Huh?
The concert was to die for, and it's available somewhere. Please find it. I'm sure PBS will sell it because they need to make money.
Sure.
I have to tell you, towards the end, before she sent the fabulous band that was accompanying her band, actually mini orchestra that was accompanying her, they all together, including 3 guys walking down the aisle like a funeral procession from New Orleans, did Mood Indigo. And I have to tell you, I was crying with a heart on. It was kind of like the lap dance is better when the stripper's crying kind of thing. It was...
True.
These nuts.
It was one of the best things I have ever watched on TV, bar none. I was not ready for, like, how good her orchestra sounded, the fact that they did a funeral procession at the beginning of it, and it took half the song for the 3 guys, the horn section, to make it to the stage. She came out with a headdress and did a whole little dance with the headdress. The crowd was, like, on their feet, and then they just jammed. Then they just turned into... We are a blues orchestra. We're going to give you da blues. D's nuts. It was incredible. And I'm sure someone has got to have had the foresight to put it on YouTube or somewhere now. But please Google Annie Lennox Mood Indigo from the Nostalgia concert from PBS. It'll fucking kill you.
I like it.
And one of the most beautiful songs ever written, Mood Indigo, by the way, from the American songbook. Percy Sledge dies. Only 1 hit, but luckily if you're going to go down with 1 big hit, make it a doozy. And then pray to God that Michael Bolton doesn't pee on it at some point.
Michael Bolton.
But Percy Sledge, but Michael Bolton was really funny on Last Week Tonight.
Oh my God, was hysterical.
Fabulous on John Oliver.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Really good. And he cut his hair, so now he's not so atrocious. But Percy Sledge...
Laura's going to use the line, crying with a boner at work this week.
See if you can fit it in.
Yeah.
Oh!
These nuts.
These
Well
nuts.
done.
So Percy Sledge sang When a Man Loves a Woman, and just one of the great vocal performances all time, based on a real breakup. Somebody Google it. I'm 90% sure he wrote the song, but I did forget to look that up. But I'm pretty sure he wrote the song, and he was signed to his record label for that song. Someone heard him sing it live, signed him to a contract, and that song just opened the whole door. Many people have remade it, infamously or famously. Bette Midler in The Rose.
Oh, she
tears the shit out of it and gives it to you. Oh, yeah.
This is the original, 1966. If you know what we're talking about. So
Is that what a Nan is looking for, I wonder?
I don't know.
With I Need Your Help, Dr. Ben Carlson, with the link.
Here's the song.
Where's the link?
Testify.
It's true. Girls make
Very
me
good.
crazy.
Let me look. Go ahead and talk about that. I'm going to look up and see if he actually wrote the song.
It's a vocal that stands the test of time. Now we're 20 years since Michael Bolton peed on it.
That's what I'm looking for.
Fucking Michael Bolton.
Oh, Mood Indigo. Yes, that'll change your fucking life. So it is available somewhere on if you Google Mood Indigo.
Yep.
So just
No, it's actually written by Calvin Lewis and Andrew Wright. He did not write the song.
Oh, so then they wrote it based on a real breakup.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, the song was autobiographical in nature, about one friend writing about the other friends being a whiny bitch.
These nuts.
D's nuts. Okay, so now we're just going to go all Veep all the time. But Orphan Black, April 18th. If you're not caught up on Orphan Black, BBC America is doing a marathon starting sometime this week. And remember, BBC America is the one that never sticks to their schedule, and they fuck everything up. This is the hardest show on TV to follow, so make plans accordingly. I'm trying to give you 2 weeks notice on Orphan Black. And the gay guy is so much fun. The gay brother, you want to kick the clone that he's really the brother to. Just abuses him. Like if she was my, I'd kick her a couple times.
I tried 5 of them and I couldn't.
Oh, it's so good. But again,
I mean,
you
that's
didn't
okay.
like the touring company. I know, to taste it all different strokes. These nuts. So, but the relationship between the suburban housewife and the gay brother, the suburban housewife clone, is to die for. Like that really does. Because the rest of the time I'm like, okay, you need to just drop this bitch's baggage. Veep started yesterday. Sad news that clearly Veep is going to be renewed for a 5th season. Because all is right and well with the world. But Armando Iannucci, who is the showrunner, creator, writer, he is leaving the show after this season. Even though it has not been renewed yet, they have already picked another showrunner for the next season, and just says he needs to focus on his family. I cannot imagine that there could be any inner turmoil where everyone on that set is not like bowing at his feet. and then the Veep review. Okay.
Dan, what the fuck is this? What are you talking about? You got me buried so far into the West Wing, I'm practically in Pyongyang.
Jonah, you have a job in the White House, all right? That was the deal.
I publicly denounced the internet, Dan. Okay, those are my people. I'm getting so much online hate. There are memes of me being burned alive.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, there's one of me fucking a chicken while dressed as Bin Laden.
The chicken is dressed as Bin Laden, or you're dressed as Bin Laden?
No, I'm dressed as Bin Laden, Dana, and it's really well done. So it legitimately looks like I am engaging in bestiality while insulting 9/11 victims.
Oh, wow, that is tough.
I want a new deal. I want to get closer to the action. I'm like a boom op on a porn shoot right now.
No, I'm sorry, man, but, you know, I can't have a terrorist chicken fucker next to the president. Security.
And thank God you do that, because I have been saying for years I cannot do that show any justice for the delivery. And there's a scene in the bathroom that you can Google when Selena finds out that the president is resigning and she's moving up, and Gary gets a nosebleed. And all that's in the script, according to them, is that she finds out she's president in a bathroom, and Gary gets a nosebleed with no toilet paper, and the rest is improvised. And you can tell that Tony Hale cannot keep it together, because he's just holding his hand over his face to keep from, like, screaming out loud. And Julia Lewis just goes nuts with jokes about the no toilet paper, jokes about the nosebleed, and she's finding out she's president all at the same time, and it's in a dirty bathroom with her on the floor. It's genius.
It is, yep.
So you got to find out what's going on there. So then, okay, so
Funny.
Jonah Ryan is the character. Timothy Simons is the is the actor that plays him, and I just went on his page, found a picture of him, put it on my Facebook page, and just said "funny motherfucker." Not only did he like it, but he friended me.
Oh.
He was like,
How fun is that?
yeah, and I've been reading interviews. Anyway, so good. So that's it.
Funny.
With that,
Did you have Rita Wilson at all?
Rita Wilson, currently starring in Larry David's Broadway show, which the name is escaping. Fish Out of Water, Fish in the Dark. Fish in the Dark. She left the show a couple of weeks ago. It was all very hush-hush while she was leaving. Everyone was very supportive about her leaving the show. It turns out breast cancer, double mastectomy, and here is the peak of her career. Well, I think my big fat Greek wedding, where she made $300 million, was pretty much the peak of her career, but this would be second, that her Broadway debut, and then she gets diagnosed with breast cancer. And we had a conversation about this a couple of weeks ago, as I'm turning into Marnie doing a downer story. And both old people are dead.
Please call me Rose.
The centenarian
Just
Rose
call me
is
Rose.
dead.
Where was the shovel at in all of this?
But I really hope as people are
an
making
axe.
these decisions that, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, like, I just, like, not that it's good or bad to do it, but, like, I hope people are getting, like, help, not just from a surgical point of view, but from, like, a psychological point of view. Like, there's this
emotionally.
Because people are just jumping to this surgery, and I'm only, like, 9 years out of nursing school, and this, like, preemptive mastectomies and stuff like that were, like, still, like, that's not possible. Like, no one was talking
That's
about
not
it.
a
Like,
good idea, right?
it's a new thing that's, so I just hope that she's getting help. But a wonderful woman, no weird Scientology ties. The Scientology documentary is the second most watched documentary of the decade.
Yeah.
And SeaWorld has now taken the Walmart tack. Have you seen
Oh.
SeaWorld commercials yet on
I
CNN?
have not.
The producers of the Blackfish documentary, SeaWorld has bought airtimes. Are they advertising tickets to the park or their shows? No, they're doing the Walmart thing. We're not horrible people. The commercial is 30 seconds of SNL parody. We're not horrible. Just ask us. And it says, ask us, SeaWorld.com. I mean, everything about it says, we're fucked up.
Wow.
And then, because you know how the big deal is that the dolphin's fin is bent, and that doesn't happen in the wild. It's from
Right.
So it's
captivity.
the whale.
So they, whatever it is,
Same song.
same shit. Whatever,
same
however
song.
that creature self-identifies. I didn't get his whole initial
Killer
pattern.
whale. Big black killer whale.
All right, that might be it.
Shamu.
Sounds racist.
D's nuts might be right in this scene. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm saying you might be
And
right.
I feel like you're fat shaming the whale.
I'm not fat shaming the whale.
I do, Carney Wilson.
I didn't say it was the Carney Wilson
Call
of
it
whales.
Shamu. That's just
There's a thinner
rude.
one somewhere. I'm saying she's less talented. No, so anyways, but these commercials, find them on CNN, watch a little CNN, and now it's like, we're not terrible to whales. We're great. I mean, it is so like Mormon circus, SNL parody. Like, you just don't know. You know remember those billboards? We're Mormon. Ask us. Remember that shit? Oh
Yeah.
my God, this is worse.
Oh, yes.
I read
do
the
remember
funniest. I think it was like The Onion or some other parody written from the perspective of the whale that killed all the people. In response, kind of along those lines of the SeaWorld commercials, like oh no, it's fine. Oh no, my death cage and I may have to find it because it was
Just
strikingly
good times.
hilarious.
Yeah. But I'm sitting there and go ahead.
Well, no, you got 45 seconds to.
I mean, just the thing that I do, like, because I don't exercise voluntarily, so I have to have music, and then I have to have the TV on at the gym with the closed captioning so I can, like, read my news. You have to distract me 100 different ways so I don't know I'm exercising.
Right.
So I'm watching that commercial with closed captions on, which made it even more vile and, like, completely
Wrong.
satirical.
Right.
Ask us! Like, in my mind, that's how they were screaming it with their demon eyes.
Underwater.
Yeah. And then I just have one little follow up at the over thing, and then we'll throw over to Shit
Okay.
Show.
It's the
Show.
It's the
Decent.
show. Q
We'll
Talk
give it to
America.
decent.
Everybody in the chat room, thank you.
No,
And
that's
we're
here.
coming back with more segments. We are the best show on the air right now at this time from this studio. Ask us.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening once again, 9:04 on the old atomic clock on the wall. This is The Show with Clayton McKee. That's me. I'm sitting next to Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins, rounding out our cast. Oh!
Tragedy!
We have a wine spill going into hour 3.
We've got help on the way.
God
Help's coming.
damn, the
Help's
pizza.
coming.
How's the
It
pizza?
wasn't the moonshine.
I tried a new glass. It's my fault.
How's
It
the
wasn't
pizza? The
the
pizza
moonshine.
okay?
It's
Pizza's
okay.
good. Pizza's good.
I got
When you hit
pizza.
me
I got
electronic
it.
equipment, God, it's always one of my fears here in Studio C that there's going to be some sort of a
It is dripping through the hole.
A short.
D's nuts.
These nuts are dripping through the hole.
Yeah.
Well, it's all right.
Literally
Well,
can't.
I mop the floor
no.
every week in here because I know that sometimes there's a spit take and sometimes there's spillage.
Well,
It does.
time.
It does look like I piddled a little through the hole.
Well, at your age, we expect that, Al.
We really do. I mean,
get the
the fact that I'm
always
still cotton into
underpants.
this age is really kind of
We can
impressive.
get you the always underpants.
Always. Whoops! I just shit my pants,
So convenient.
and I
crapped my
did.
pants.
Oh, that's what it is. Oops, I grabbed my
Well,
pants.
as we are continuing on with the show, we got a little less than an hour to go. Al is in the middle of an entertainment section, and he had one more thing he wanted to talk
a wee
about.
bit of a spill though.
I just a little something because I had said a couple years ago that my hope was if I ever had the flu or a disease that I would catch up on How I Met Your Mother.
So fun.
Here's we're gonna do a what I knew and what I didn't know version of this story. So first, I knew I was ill and I had some time to kill, so I turned it on to get the episodes that I missed. What I didn't know was that it was on for 9 fucking seasons. They had 24
Yeah.
episodes a season.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
it took me a month to.
Very
What
funny
started
show.
off as a grand dream while I was ill turned into, and I'm still watching this a month later.
Oh, okay.
But if you're gonna binge something, I have to tell you, and as bingeable shows come on, this show is so well done.
Yeah, it's very smart.
Beautifully done. And they don't syndicate some of the sad episodes, but those fuckers can all act.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I could not get over and how they handled it for the whole show was that the main girl, the one that everyone's in love with, including the other girl, who has sexual fantasies about her, says in the beginning she doesn't want to get married, she doesn't want to have kids, which kind of goes against the How I Met Your Mother storyline of like him being in love with her, and she sticks to it. Like a couple seasons later, it comes up again. She's like, still don't want to get married, still don't want to have kids, and it's devastating to someone else. And you're like, well, it's very rare that they honored a woman's choice like that. To me, instead of her like, oh, I love you, I guess I'll have kids. She's like, no, I'm not interested. This has to end. If you want kids, I'm not your gal. And I thought, well, that's kind of a brave and unusual way to go with that. Mm-hmm. And very well done. And then they did this episode about, I don't know, season 6 or something, where she finds out that she can't have kids. And instead of doing like a whole like very special blossom, the episode was presented when she thought she was pregnant. to the kids of her future, kind of like how the whole show is done. And she's talking to her children, her future children as they're adults. And then at the end, when the doctor tells her, no, you're not pregnant, you can't have kids. And the kids just disappear. And she's like, well, I'm kind of glad. And I was like, holy shit, this is a CBS 8 o'clock sitcom with like jokes, like weird jokes that all of a sudden handles infertility like this. Seriously, but then she doesn't share it with anybody else. It doesn't turn into a very special blossom. She just kind of says to herself, I'm going to keep this to myself. I don't think I like the way my friends would respond to my infertility. And I was like, who does that? And then the story comes back and it like reverberates through the seasons as everyone finds out she can't have kids. And it was gut-wrenching. And I'm like, okay, these people are getting me to cry over and over again with like really resounding things. Then there's an episode about how she never mentions her mother, bad relationship with her father. And then they just tell you, here's the times we've talked about her mother. And now her mom's not coming to her wedding. And you're like, How I Met Your Mother. It was so well done that when I finally finished it, it was like, and I told you when I watched the season finale last year, I got that How I Met Your Mother was not about her mother, about their mother. Like, that was pretty obvious. If the mother was still involved, there wouldn't be a show called How I Met Your Mother. She'd be sitting next to him. He wouldn't be telling the story
She's
alone.
got to be gone or dead
Clearly
or whatever.
the mother's gone. But I had missed, because again, I guess they don't syndicate the sad episodes.
Well, and you very rarely catch them like weekly in order anymore. Like you catch them a little bit here and a little bit there and out of order. Because that's one that I've always kind of, it's been on my list for a really long time to just sit down and binge the fuck through it.
It's genius. It's so well done. And in season 8, there was an episode where I was like, well, clearly she's dead. He just kind of said that she's dead.
Oh.
And then in season 9, they just hit you with a double punch. I mean, they just go D's nuts to you and just double barrel you with my wife is dead and I'm really sad telling the story. And I was like a sobbing mess because I'm like, I think she's dead in this episode. I think we're admitting it. And then they just say it and they end up holding hands and he's sobbing and she's sobbing and I'm like, this is a situation comedy. To me, it's better than Friends. Like this was 9 episodes of like really 9 seasons. I did not know I was in for that much. It took me a month to watch, and I really watched a lot of it while I was sick and I had nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. But the later episodes where they just like all the things that they had built up that they finally just hit you with, I'm like, just really well done. Allison Hannigan is my new favorite actress.
She's been my favorite for a long time.
I don't think a lot of her comedy wise, but God, when she gets something dramatic to stick her teeth in, that girl's just a waterworks factory. So it was really good. So that was my thing and the jokes are funny. You end up like the laughs are well earned, but God, do they get you with the tears on a situation comedy?
I had no idea.
And all of a sudden, them not winning Emmys makes a lot of sense because I always tell people you can't have drama in you can't submit your episode that's got like serious tones to it. To win a comedy Emmy. Your episode has to be funny, and that's what a lot of people do. They're like, well, look how good I'm acting. Yeah, but you're not funny. Mm-hmm. So, just anyways, that was my thing. If you're going to binge watch something and you got some time and we're in between binge watching shows, put that on and watch that ride. Just well done on all counts.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
Well, alrighty. Ken Carlson, you ready? You're on deck? Here we go.
Tom, wait. Tom, I got to shit on it right now. Tom, I never know they're just fictional characters. I still think the characters in Tales of the City are all real.
No, just let it roll.
I like that Tomo's going to offer me. Tomo, you're like 20 years late to their just fictional characters. And hit it.
I have to clear the deck once again.
Wait for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kat Carlson has the floor.
I sure the fuck don't. Oh, but I've been kind of leaning on the Twitterverse for my stories this week, and we're going to talk about Bruce Jenner. We're going to talk about a head transplant. We've got the free-range children saga continuing. And today happens to be a very special day for women in this country.
Oh.
So we'll talk about all of those
Grilled
things.
Cheese Day?
Yes. Yeah, just like pulling apart a grilled cheese.
I felt as a woman that yeast infection meant something to me.
Oh my God.
Because these nuts were a little yeasty.
Cold grilled cheese is hard to pull apart.
Right after a bite of that pizza.
That's a true
Good Lord.
I didn't tell you to put it in your mouth.
So I'm learning a whole lot about Twitter and trending topics.
Okay.
Which is very fun. Things that people are talking about and the things that people find important are astonishing to me sometimes.
Yes.
A lot of television. There's a lot of television involved.
Yeah.
There was something terrible that happened on a British TV show that made shit just blow up this afternoon as I was allegedly working, aka prepping for the show.
Oh, I did not see that headline.
I know. I don't even remember the show because I was like, what? And I went and looked for it, and it was basically like the BBC MTV version of Jersey Shore. And somebody left the house. It was a thing. I know.
My stars.
the Twitterverse was all in an uproar. And so it's very fun because you can go on Twitter and look at the trending topics and click on them and find out what everybody's saying about it. So as it turns out, Bruce Jenner is giving an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, big one to Diane Sawyer later this week, airing on Friday, in fact.
No, correct. And when the actual date?
24th.
Friday, April 24th at 9
not
p.m.
this Friday.
Eastern Standard
All right.
Time. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I skipped ahead or didn't skip ahead far enough. Yeah. Lady Jenner is going to sit down with Diane Sawyer.
I'm going to be there to see Lady Jenner get it done.
And it's very fun because the teaser article says nothing about what everyone's going to tune in for. And it just says, well, you know, I'll give some insight into the show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and, you know, the tight bond that they have as a family and all that stuff. And everybody's like, why?
There's not a tight person in that family. Let's just say it. The word tight is being vastly...
The only thing tight in that show right now is Jenner's face, because it's been drawn a few times back.
Right.
I'll
allow it.
Thank you, Al.
And I feel like the reason everyone's going to tune in is to just try and find out if he's going to say why he looked like a lady. Yeah. So now...
And clearly Jamaicans will be part of this because you said so.
Oddly,
Looking like a lady.
The spoiler alert is he's actually going to replace the current guy doing Hedwig.
He's got till August to get it together.
Right, when Darren Criss is out, Jenner's in.
You look like a lady.
Look for that interview.
I want to be supportive of that letter of the alphabet.
Of course.
But here's what keeps it from happening.
Bruce Jenner?
Yeah.
And a drunk Diane Sawyer talking.
You know what I mean?
So how do you do
Cher's kid gets on board, I'm
She's
in.
exhausted.
All right.
Little tranny from Florida's on it, I'm
Right.
with her.
Sure.
Carrying the banner, walking through the parade. Don't even get what we're walking for.
Sure.
Bruce Jenner, nah.
You got nothing.
Why?
Was it the
Just 'cause
nails?
that
Because the
family's
nails
so
really
horrible.
freaked me out a lot.
Like that family, I swear to God, he's cutting off his dick for ratings. Like I don't believe there's a sincere bone in
And these nuts?
these nuts. Like
Don't spit.
I honestly think that whore mother, whatever her name is,
Kris Jenner.
Kris Jenner,
Yeah.
would chop off her husband's dick to get 3 more points in the 18 to 49 demographic.
They did that twice last week in Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, and Ryan Seacrest, the producer, would suck it afterwards because he's kind of gay.
Kinda.
Did you write Ryan Seacrest down as a possible not listen ever?
Ryan.
Dwarf
Bye,
homosexual.
Ryan.
I can't wait for him next season on
Wow.
Game of Thrones. They need another midget. You can't have just one.
No, there's only one. I read all the
I
books.
know.
There's
See,
only
he
the
needs
one.
a friend, Ryan Seacrest.
The imp. No, he doesn't have any friends. There's none others. I read all the books. There's no other.
So there's
no other dwarfs.
nowhere for Ryan
Nowhere
Seacrest in
the
this story.
7 Kingdoms. That's
Could
right.
you
I
please
did read
just
all the
cross
books.
everyone off our list?
Except those people like Ginny and Tomo
Except
in
for
the
except,
chat room.
I think our chat room just dwindled by about 3 people.
This
too. I
one
think
this
they
one said
lost some people.
Centurions were half for.
A good hello to India who
That
just
was
chimed
funny.
in to the
He's
show
been here
listening.
all day.
Annette.
They weren't in this screen.
Oh, okay. But he's been chatting with us
No,
literally all
I
night.
know that, but somebody just chimed in on the. I don't know
Annette,
what.
we might have a love
I
connection.
don't know. I just bring up
What?
topics of information. Continue
A
on,
country
Kat.
of 10 billion people. Annette, do you know the other listener?
My friend Charlie was over there one time.
Oh. Well, you know, the marvels of modern
But
medicine.
who's not going to tune in, though? I mean,
Okay.
honest to God, though.
Right.
Popcorn in hand. Probably that shitty organic stuff from
Oh,
you had
don't
last
buy
week?
that shit again.
How I Met Your Fat and Easy place.
It's still out there on the counter. You can have some more. Of it.
Don't do that again. Go with the smart food popcorn every
I know.
time. The white cheddar. It's the only way to go. Well, the marvels of modern medicine have done it again. Some call it insane. One describes a fate worse than death. But for a 30-year-old Russian man whose muscles are wasting away,
Oh.
the doctor's plan to transplant a human head is highly appealing. No shit.
Which head?
This one.
Oh, okay.
The one on
Be specific.
the north.
The north.
True North.
The one on top.
Well, depends on
Wait a minute.
which way you're laying.
Yep. A man by the name of Valerie says, I can hardly control my body now. He's a computer scientist with a Werding-Hoffman disease. He says, I need help every day, every minute. I'm now 30 years old, although people rarely live more than 20 years with this disease. So he found himself an Italian doctor who says that he can go ahead and swap heads. So he's going to cut this dude's head off.
This is bullshit.
No, this isn't bullshit.
This is soap dish.
This is not soap dish. This is not bullshit. They really think they're gonna do this. They really think they're gonna cut.
And a precedent-setting 3-day surgery. That's
Right.
from Soap Dish.
Sure,
When they did the head transplant.
probably.
Hey, if those Italians can upright that Costa Concordia, those fuckers can do anything. So I'm getting 10-1 on this.
I know.
Oh, I like it. We have an odds maker now in house.
Look at that.
D's nuts hired an odds maker. Can't get a fact checker, but we got an odds maker.
Bookmakers dial 424. I
We
didn't
are
highlight
seriously
anything else.
OTB.
Oh, and Aunt, I understand. I'm sorry.
OTB, out to brunch.
Out to brunch. Yes, that's the gay version of off-track betting. Off to brunch.
TV.
Couldn't think of anything more.
All right, I did learn something from Dr. Ben Carlson
Yes.
today.
Yeah, this
Please-
article
please make
appears
it
to be
another.
just a little bit of a teaser, and they're going to announce more details as time goes on while they...
Oh, a very important announcement next week, like Dr. Ben Carlson. I sent the theme from
Dr.
D's nuts.
Carson. Oh, goodness gracious. I
That
thought I had more
motherfucker.
with that story, but apparently not. Don't know why I pulled
I
that up.
love when you shit on your own stories and then
That takes a
gesture to the
lot.
wall like it's the wall's fault. He
Well, no,
wrote it.
because I'm swiping it off my
This piece
screen.
of muslin
This
wrote
is-
that
this
horse
is-
shit.
Before, it used to be she'd throw the paper.
And then there was an axe,
It's all about the
and then
axe,
they
I'm
were all
telling you.
dead.
Had to have been 100.
One of them was 100. It was
Yeah.
funny. It was funny. I
It was
remember it being
fucking
funny.
hysterical.
It's a funny story.
I was told it
Yeah.
was funny. I don't remember laughing, but I was told it was funny.
I laughed my ass off.
Here, we'll try this one. In an updated story. Shit on this whole segment.
You're doing it yourself, though. I don't know why you're looking at me.
I know.
Self-inflicted shitting.
That's happened.
There's an emoji for that.
That's called post-black bean burrito.
There is.
I have self-inflicted shitting.
Was anyone in this room listening to a story maybe a month ago?
Yes,
about-
and following closely while you talk loudly when I'm in the bathroom. Because I got something to say.
All right. About a story of some free-range children.
Yes.
Anybody ringing a bell?
Yes.
Anybody?
And weren't the parents arrested?
No, never arrested.
I thought the parents
were they were detained
Because
and
the
investigated
because the children were free range and unrestricted.
because the children were walking home from the park.
3/4 of a mile from
Yeah,
home or
not
something.
far.
So that I
far.
remember that.
Well, it turns out they didn't learn from being scolded and warned, and
Bastards.
so the parents
God, the kids.
and they
kids.
also didn't move
okay.
out of the town where it's illegal to leave your children unattended. No, they went ahead and just sent their kids back to the park to play.
Repeat offender.
Repeat offenders, the so-called free-range children of Maryland. Their parents who made headlines last year when they were called out for letting them walk a mile home unaccompanied. The children were taken in protective custody for several hours on Sunday. Yeah.
Something.
The world is so different from when I was a kid. I would
I agree.
out in the morning, gone for hours in the woods and trails and forts
God.
on bikes and shit, and then come home at night.
I didn't even live in the country. Like, I lived in, like, suburban Utah, and we were at the 7-Eleven, like, stealing Slurpees all fucking day.
Like you do.
Like, you know, yeah, one kid would go dance in front of the counter, the other kid would just start yanking off some Slurpee.
Yanking.
Wow, that
Yanking
sounds
off some
wrong.
Slurpee.
Yanking off some
I'm gonna
Slurpee.
leave that alone.
Oh,
From D's nuts.
these nuts right, here.
These nuts.
Go ahead.
So in the free-range children case, the mom's name is Danielle, and she posted this weekend on her Facebook, like you do when you're frustrated. She says, "I'm at Montgomery County CPS because the police picked up my children and didn't bring them home."
And didn't call her and tell her where her kids were.
Yes,
So the
Yeah.
police kidnapped her kids.
exactly.
Dun dun dun.
We've been searching for the kids for hours and have been here at CPS for 30 minutes, and they still haven't let us see or talk to the children. Apparently, the police lured the kids into their police car by saying, "Hey, we're going to take you home."
Lured them. They're using the word lured.
Yep.
Wow, this is getting
Oh,
good.
I'm sorry. No, they're using the word coerced.
Oh, even worse.
I know.
Who was coerced? I missed
children.
The children were coerced into the police car,
Yeah. That was
With the lie that we're going to take you home.
telling them that they would drive them home. Absolutely. They kept the kids for 3 hours without notifying the parents, and then dropped them off at the crisis center, like you do with kids who don't actually have parents,
Right.
or whose parents are
and
actually
then failed
gone.
to notify the parents
And again,
where they were.
remind those of us who weren't paying attention. What city is this?
This is it's in Maryland. I don't remember the city.
Okay, so just back east of Maryland.
Silver
All right.
Spring, Maryland,
Silver Springs.
where it is on the books and illegal for children under the age of 18 to be unattended by an adult.
Under 18.
Under
That's
18.
insane.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
No.
I mean,
like
can you
living-
imagine?
No.
First of all, I have children in my house. I can't even imagine having to watch them that much.
Right. Well, it almost sounds.
So in
like
this scenario, are you gonna go somewhere and I gotta go with you?
This almost sounds like it's one of those Del Webb retirement communities where nobody's even permitted in if they're under 55 years old. Like this whole city is like, you can't even have kids.
They'll let you in if you promise to sleep with them, Clayton. I'm sorry you thought that.
Awkward.
Not where I was going. Not where I was going.
No,
is there moonshine left?
Oh yeah.
Because I've lost. I've lost everything I had.
The lady Clayton, you got a half a gallon of bourbon in front of you.
Well, I got nothing.
I love it. I've lost everything I had. She cried. Well, the dingo ate her baby. Come on, settle down.
Oh.
Okay, I have so many problems with this story. Tell me when you're ready for me to interject.
Please go ahead.
First off, what the fuck? The cops are abusive in that story.
Well, yeah, the cops are, first of all, they're going to go ahead and investigate and harass the family in the first place.
And scare these kids. Right. And make them feel like they don't have parents when they're doing, and it's some kind of parenting. There's the crazy bitch from, not crazy bitch, she's actually lovely, but
I'm sure she is.
Mayan Bialik, who's doing the don't let go of that fucking kid parenting. What's that called?
Helicopter
parenting?
No, it's worse. It's worse. It's
submarine. Pick a mode of transportation. Come on.
But anyway, she's
go-kart,
and
moped.
people asked her, like, how can you have a marriage and 2 kids if you won't stop this style of parenting where, like, you won't let that kid out of your sight and the kid sleeps in your bed? And she's like, oh, no, it works. They got divorced.
Like
seriously, attachment parenting.
Oh.
So there's that kind of parenting, which clearly is not good for the marriage because those kids needs to go somewhere. These nuts have to go
every once in a while, sure.
somewhere else. Mom and dad are doing it. I'll quote a chorus line here. That's just fucking weird. Then there's these people that are trying to do free range parenting. I'm sorry, don't name it how I want my chickens raised, okay? Right. These are your children, not my chickens. Let's get it together.
You know what? And I tend to come across a lot of parenting blogs, and I read a lot. I read a lot just in general, and so I've read a lot of different articles and philosophies on parenting, and a lot of other countries in the world kind of believe in that whole free range thing, and it actually statistically works.
Yeah, because we were all raised free range.
Yeah.
Look at us.
All 3 of us. I mean, raging alcoholics, but aside from that, gainfully employed.
And a little more street smart than maybe we should be at an early age in life.
I mean, clearly a couple days late for our first AA meeting, but really that's not what we're talking about.
Found out they're not required. Just found that out.
The meetings?
Yes, no.
Totes not required.
Totes optional.
Totes not required.
And
I've read articles that say, from Americans that have moved overseas, especially to Europe. Apparently in Europe, they don't give a fuck where these kids are.
No, because they're
drinking.
at the park playing soccer.
Right.
There's soccer fields, and there's not crazy fucking parents screaming at the coaches.
No.
The kids are just playing
soccer. The kids
soccer,
go away,
and
the parents are drinking wine.
Right. They're enjoying a little glass of de Margerie.
What is it? What is it? Soccer wine? What was we were calling it?
Purse wine.
Purse wine.
Yeah.
I mean, the French are getting it right, and those kids are,
and they're allegedly
couple scorching cases of STDs, but the rest of it's healthy. But
most of them curable.
I'm sorry, we're so overprotective, and I love my family. I love my nieces. Those girls couldn't find their way out of a paper sack.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. You're 20 years old. I'd already been to Europe a couple times. You can't drive to the middle of the state by yourself.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Well, and
I'm sorry if you're listening to my family, but these girls need to be going down to spring break somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and our kids are only 7 and 9, and
so maybe not spring break yet for them.
Not spring break yet for them, but you know what? Some by design and some by circumstance. The oldest is markedly more independent and mature and trustworthy than his friends. You know what I mean? I see this little kids. All the little kids. They'll come over from time to time, and I have to be somewhat sober and responsible. Yeah,
mornings only.
Somewhat. D's nuts.
Right.
Equals
from noon to noon 30.
To dark time. Noon to dark time.
And then she yells out, "Get off my lawn!"
So that's me.
But I wouldn't think a second thought about letting the kids, and a couple of them at a time. I'm not so crazy about kids going off by themselves, but yeah, you got 2 friends over. The park's a little less than a mile away. Yep, you got bikes. Go. Have a good time.
That's what bikes are for. Go.
Right. Get out. Go away.
Don't talk to strangers. Scream as loud as you can. If you're white, find a cop.
Sure. And those are really good rules.
Those are really good rules to live by.
Actually, I still go by those same rules. I still do them.
Yeah.
Point at the emoji
ride my bike.
touched you.
Yes. text the
But
emoji.
you need a little bit of. You got to find your way out of a fucking paper sack because things happen.
Eventually, the world's gonna come to you.
Yep.
And now with cell phones, you can be in constant contact. And I'm serious. There is a button that says "Find my current location."
Yeah.
That thing stops beeping. Where was the last time they saw him? You can be in constant contact with that phone. And you can watch that thing beep. I'm sure Samsung has something that I could see where your kid was on my TV. That sounds predatorish. I didn't mean it that way.
That's okay. You know, and
You
and
might
so,
have that same TV and do it with your child. Is how I meant that.
just a couple of weeks ago, the oldest, I picked him up from school, and it was on a day when we have an after-school thing that we have to go do for the younger kid. And so, you know, the older one and I always just kind of end up sitting in the waiting room for an hour. And he looks at me, and he had it all laid out. He said, "Well, you know what? I've been thinking about it, and I talked to Mom, and I think that I am old enough to stay home for up to 1 to 2 hours during daylight hours by myself." And he like rattled off all of these really like logical sounding rules that I hadn't even thought of for a child home alone, you know, about
the
answering
stove
the
is
door.
off limits.
Right.
You'll be enjoying cold foods and things that come in a pantry.
Yeah.
At this level.
Right. And you know what I mean? Like we really kind of talked it out and went, yeah, all right, we'll try it for an hour. And he called me 7 times during the hour.
Again, the phone is very handy.
Yeah, totally handy. Like we have a landline.
See, I
for
have
the
right now
kids.
on my phone 3 people tracking live. I know where everybody is.
Yeah.
Like, and by the
I
way,
like that one
Do
of them
they
is
know?
me.
Wait, do they know?
Oh, yeah, they do. Well, they have to have approval. So I know I always track where Mom is. So if
Sure.
I go to Mom, boom, that's where Mom is right now.
Right.
But you do the same thing with a kid. If you've got to give me that fucking phone and move on. Michael's on here, so I know where that kid is. Handy shit. And I like how my mom has named her location. She named it after a cat, Zoe's house.
But
Yeah.
but then I listened to the same kid that I just was like, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be about an hour and a half, but all right, call me if anything happens, and I'll call you. You know, like we'll keep in touch. And decided that that's okay. You can be home alone, and you know, I gave him a list of, like my mother did. I gave him a list of shit that should take him from here to
You
East Jesus to
absolutely
accomplish.
do not answer the door.
Yeah, nobody comes in the house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and we will talk about it weekly from here till eternity. Like, you know, what kind of scenarios would happen.
No one knows your parent. I'm a friend of your parents is a danger. That's stranger danger.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a friend of your parents means alarm.
I lost my
If you're
dog.
white,
Can I
find a
use your
cop.
phone?
Well, and last week we even talked about, I said, okay, well, what if, you know, Jimmy's mom comes over, because it's somebody that we clearly know, and somebody that I'm friends with, and somebody like one of his friends' parents. I'm like, then what do you do? And he's like, oh, I don't know. So then we set up a scenario for that. Like, if something like that happens.
Did you get Jenny's mom to come over and play Jenny's mom?
No, not yet.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Not yet.
Role
Soon.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It'll come to that soon, and I'll do it. You know what I mean? I'll call my friends and I'll be like, here's the thing. We've been talking about this. We've been practicing this. I want you to go knock on my door.
Right.
Go do that while he's home alone.
That's
Sure.
smart.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why not?
Right.
Exactly.
You know, and every scenario always ends with call me immediately.
Right.
You know, whatever happens, police come to the door, tell them to wait, call me immediately.
Yep.
And I don't know if new phones have it, but my old phone, the Judy Jetson girl phone of the future,
The
that
flip phone.
became the flip phone. You held 9, and that was 911.
Sure.
And that was before you had like locate the phone on it. They had to ping it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They had to play Hunt for Red October with it.
No,
Is that feature still available on cell phones, or is there just an emergency button?
You know, this kid doesn't have a cell phone. He's not going out of the house by himself.
No, but I'm saying
Right.
like, is that
Oh, is
feature
that
available for the free range children who are wandering around? I'm just saying. I mean, I was up to
I
no
don't know.
good, but I was out and
Emergency
about,
call.
and I don't know.
I think we were out and about before the 911 system was
I
fully
think this is
implemented.
one of those things where I don't think CPS and child endangerment and keeping and taking children away from their parents. I think but the interesting thing is it's a conversation that needs to be had on all fronts. Is like
All the time,
somewhere
yeah.
between this kid can't wipe its ass by itself to that kid's on a busy street walking by himself, or there's people that aren't white and wealthy and living in Maryland that have latchkey kids that have to get home from school by themselves. Are you going to arrest the parents for going to work?
Right.
Like, that's what this is.
Well,
this,
and they've done that.
This is
like,
a white privileged family in an upscale neighborhood.
Yes.
This is not a realistic situation. This is not someone that's...
And they've done that. We've seen articles about the woman who sent her kid across the street to the park while she was at work.
Right.
The woman who did a very similar thing to go on a job interview.
And then made $1 million off of
Pay
it forward, whatever it's
pay it
called.
for, right.
GoFundMe.
That's what I need. I just need a sad story.
Right. Well,
Somebody help me think of a sad story.
There's
for
one
next week
about
so that
an
I can-
axe. And
Oh my God.
Some people find it funny, though. You got to be careful of that one.
Oh my god, I'm telling you, hysterical.
I need to listen back to last week
I did.
and that story. Did you?
Oh, it's hysterical.
If you could just take,
it was such a cry for
you
help.
could take audio excerpts
that
from
fucking
this
story, I
show
laughed
and
a lot.
create your sad story about how you're always stepped on and talked over,
Okay.
and
Oh, I
that'd be
don't
your
mind.
sad story.
I feel like I'm adapting well to it. I don't.
That's
No, you're wearing Al down. That's really what it matters.
No,
Unless-
and
No, I'm being choosier with my topics and more informed about them, which makes a conversation.
it's more fun to think you're wearing
No,
Al
but
down.
now I ask.
All right.
You don't have this on your thing, do you? Because we're not in Oscar season, so there's not a lot of entertainment stories. Sure. But another thing to really think about is chipping your children. I mean, if you're that fucking concerned, do the X-Files. Put the chip in Scully's neck. You know what I mean? Just
I'm
do
into
it.
it. Yeah, I mean, there's a chip
People
in my
chip
cat.
their dog. Right. There's a
Right.
chip. If you care enough, but people care way more about their pets than they do about children.
True story.
Which is why I hate pets.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah. But put a chip in them. Granted, if you watched that TV show last year with Gillian Anderson, where the first thing they did was remove the hidden chips from all the kids. They scanned them, found out where they were, and pulled their teeth and stuff.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That was fantastic. Where they kidnapped all the Washington kids.
I stopped listening for a minute. What are we talking about?
Oh, well, the kids were all chipped, but
Very good.
somebody kidnapped on a field trip all the the kids of Washington, including the president's son. Oh, that's where the kid's from. Anyways.
Wow.
I know him from. But anyways, the first thing they did was they drugged them and removed their chips, and some of them were in their back molars. So people were like, "Why did they pull my teeth?" And it turns out they
I
were
feel
secretly
like-
chipped.
I feel like you're mixing up Lost, 12 Monkeys, and X-Files all into one
12
story.
lost monkeys?
No,
What?
12 Monkeys from like
kidding.
1999 with Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis.
No?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. But the show was on last year, and it had.
Did you see those entertainment chops I just pulled
I
out?
did. I know. You were, and I know every reference, so I'm with you. I'm like, and Drew, I agree with you 100%. I was from older parents who had already raised two perfect girls. Like,
See,
by the
and
time it got to me, they were like, just go. Like, we're good at this.
We don't need to
Clearly,
do a
we've
third
raised
girl.
two good ones. You'll never drink or anything like that. Like, nothing's ever going to go wrong in this story.
I was an eldest and supposed to be most protected child, and I was just dumped off at home with a younger sibling, even.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is my
to
sister.
beat upon, who doesn't speak to me anymore.
Babysitting at 13. Like, she
Right.
was taking, she
Yeah.
was not only controlled of life, but make dinner for this picky fucking 3-year-old who won't eat a goddamn thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who exists on peanut butter and Italian food. Feed that
Nothing wrong with
fucker.
that.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
What's wrong with that?
Well, the last
think
thing that I have to talk about is that today is hashtag Equal Pay Day.
Yeah?
Oh, wait for it.
Oh, yes, caller.
Them nuts.
And about fucking time.
These nuts.
No. What
I'm on board with these
no,
nuts.
stand by, because what Equal Pay Day means is that if everybody started on January 1st, 2014, today is the day that women will have made as much money as men did by the end of 2014
Yeah.
at the 77 cents per hour.
And we have to raise awareness and get Marco Rubio and his Cuban Canadian friend and whatever Bush is still hunting around into the loop of this is something. Lily Ledbetter, right? That's the act.
Yep.
The Lily
I believe
Ledbetter
so.
Act that the Republicans shot down.
I believe so, yeah.
And I love when people ask me, why don't you vote Republican? Lily Ledbetter.
Right.
Like, here's a word.
That's Tourette's for you.
No, it is. It
No,
is
I
Tourette's.
know,
Shout it
but-
out there.
I know. Yeah.
Honest to God, that is Tourette's. Like, it has to be. And I don't know if you guys were following when I put the picture of Hillary, and I had a friend, and I enjoy him. I think he's a very responsible man. Like,
Sure.
oh my God, she's the most untrustable person in history. And Kara, who doesn't offer political opinions publicly
Sure,
very often,
sure.
was like, oh fuck this.
yeah.
Equal pay, equal work, women in charge,
Yeah.
get this shit done. And she just shut that argument down.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
And that's
And you have to follow up. If any one of your 3 boys, or any other white male, and we had a new cunt on the horizon, Carla Fierro.
Oh,
Fiorello.
yeah. That was hysterical. She got shot down big time trying to put Hillary down.
Yeah.
And big time on MSNBC.
She's going to announce soon, too. She's going to be the Republican hopeful. She gave money to Prop 8,
Got
doesn't believe in gay rights,
bad
believes
at
women
business.
belong in the home, except for her, bad at business. She was, what is it, Google or Hewlett-Packard?
Hewlett-Packard.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
stocks dropped.
She's a winner.
I feel like we should vote for her.
This cunty McCunstein. She's
Yep.
one to watch.
Yep.
She's against, and my friend was like, well, she's a woman, why don't you support her? And I'm like, anti-gay, anti-woman, anti-choice.
Right, just because it
Can I
has a
just-
vagina doesn't
Right.
mean I'm going to vote for it.
Right.
That's like everybody who was like, well, why wouldn't you vote for Sarah Palin? No. Why
Well,
would I?
Let me count the ways.
I'd rather
Yeah.
I'd rather gouge my eyes out.
Yeah, and
Yes.
just because that's what it always came down to. Just because someone has a vagina doesn't mean I'm going to vote for them because it's
And then
it's
people
a
are like,
woman.
oh, she's mean.
No,
You're being misogynistic. You're going after this woman.
No.
She doesn't stand up for women. Why would I stand up for her?
Well,
In
not
what
just that,
world has
I
she
can
stood up for
still-
a woman?
Just because it's a female, I can still disagree with her. I don't have
Oh,
to.
right. But when they play the misogyny card,
Oh,
my
I
thing
agree,
is,
yes.
she has never stood shoulder to shoulder with another woman on one topic. Why the fuck
You're right.
would I stand shoulder to shoulder with her?
You're right.
Like, she's denying women in the South health care. Fuck you,
you.
lady.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
I agree.
And this Carla bitch is another one.
For real. It's been over 50 years since President Kennedy signed the Equal Pay Act.
Yeah. And
We're doing
Isn't
good.
that- yeah.
Doing real good.
Stay on
working it out.
track. Stay on track.
Women, we are on track.
No, you are. I was highlighting what you're doing.
Well, the
Look at
Equal
all the
Rights
good that I
Amendment
do.
died in the 70s.
Yeah.
Equal Rights Amendment. That's what couldn't get passed. All the other amendments to the Constitution, the one that can't get passed
Yeah.
is the ERA.
Equal rights. Yeah. 50 years ago, President Kennedy signed the Equal Pay Act. Women still
They
earned...
shot him. By the way, the last guy that thought
I
of that,
think he
the
was
colonel,
dead.
shot him.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
That's your
Should have put
conspiracy.
his top up.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Said about her.
D's nuts don't want to
Yeah.
hear it.
Women in this country and many other countries, like we're not the only country afflicted with it. Women across the world still earn 10 to 30% less than their male counterparts in the same industry. Now, I've been all over Twitter and the Twitter feed, and you've got the hateful comments as well.
Of course.
Plenty of people that are like, oh no, this is a myth, and if women would go into the same industry, no, this is same job, this is same industry.
Yes.
In tech jobs, women earn 82% less.
Right.
In science jobs, women earn 85%
And like, well, they
less.
forget to go to meetings and ask for more money. Let me show you the scene from
Right.
9 to 5. When this was pertinent is the scene for 9 to 5 when they offer Lily Tomlin. And it's 9 to 5, very funny, but it's a very topical,
It really
very
is.
It sure
politically
is.
charged movie.
Yes.
Where she's like, well, he has a family. We have to pay him more. I have a family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, fuck that. I got to go to Charlie's and have a drink.
Oh, that'll be good.
Atta girl.
Atta girl.
girl.
Atta girl.
Different Charlie's, just our movie reference.
Right.
That's right.
But it gets you the same place.
But it still gets it all done.
Oh, and then getting killed for wanting to be educated, because
Yeah.
that's the other thing
Jenny's
that
right.
that's the other thing that these our Cuban boys from the Republica don't believe in is educating women. Because them, remember, what's the one that means semen and ass juice mixed together? Santorum.
Santorum. That's a true story. Look
It's
it
a
up.
true story.
No,
Yeah, that's
Google
what
that.
it means. They Google
Does
it.
it mean have no worries?
Yeah,
Kinda.
What did Santorum do now?
But Santorum is the one. Remember in the 2012 election, he's the one that said that it was absolutely elitist to expect people to go to college. And why would women need to go to college?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
no,
elitist.
because if you get educated and you meet some other people, you might find out that your vagina is not a revolving door.
Yeah.
It's not a
Either
factory.
Maybe.
way, you know what I mean?
Well, and Tom was right.
Only the
'cause
select lucky
Tom was
few.
right. You can't outlaw discrimination. I mean, it is so easy to mask as something else.
Yeah, and Nero,
Yeah.
the show was Crisis. It was very good. It kind of went off the rails after a while, but Crisis was a show where they pulled the fillings out of the kids'
Oh,
teeth.
okay.
Yeah, it was called Crisis, and it was
okay.
Gillian. It's Gillian Anderson, so of course I watched it. 'Cause
Oh, sure.
that woman
'Cause
shows
why
up.
not?
Yeah, she reads the phone book. I'm there first, front row.
like you do. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's it.
all I got. Equal pay day. Let's go.
Off topic. Did anybody, you
We
said,
had a topic.
you talked about the free range children, and the
Right.
first thing I thought of is anybody seen the commercial, the Geico commercial about the free range chicken?
That's what I thought of too.
And
It's
it shows the
hysterical.
chicken. He gets in a tractor trailer and he rides across country. He's in a train. He gets in a truck, and all of a sudden it cuts to the farmer sitting on the porch of the farmhouse. And they have a phone, and the farmer just says, "He just keeps sending pictures from everywhere."
And then it shows his farm with all the chickens
Well,
walking around.
I love that commercial. It's just
I
like
do
this.
too.
You just keep sending more pictures.
Now, strangely enough, I have a related poultry story
Oh.
for you.
Is it foul?
Wait, is this topic coming up organically?
It is.
Kinda. It's
Organically free-range fowl are
Yeah.
all in this story.
I like it.
So they've closed since, but it really was the best place to get your holiday turkeys. Was Young's Farm up north,
Yep.
where they had their free-range turkeys, and you pointed to the turkey, and it was dead a minute later, and in your car 2 minutes after that,
Too much for me.
plucked and whatever had to be done to it,
I'm into it.
lightly waxed, but I don't know.
Gutted.
I don't ask questions. I just eat the food. But so the best part was those turkeys were always wandering around the area. So if you went, and I went up there one year because with Taco Bell, that was one of our gifts from the owner, was he got us each family that was and got a Young's Farm turkey, and I went up for the haul of like picking out turkeys and the right size for families and deciding like you have a family of 6, you should get this size. And of course, I'm a family of 1 and got the biggest fucking turkey on the thing. But this turkey runs by me, and I'm terrified of them because they're horrifying birds that should only be eaten.
I'm with you.
Rosario, we don't eat birds in this country. Anyways, and of course we got to go back to Will and Grace. So there's a little name tag on the turkey that says "Property of Young's Farm," and then it gives the city and zip code.
Oh,
and
please return.
I was delighted forever. How far does this turkey gonna run that you included the zip code? That Prescott, Arizona, and the name of the establishment weren't enough. Can I get your exact zip code, Tom Turkey? That's like the line in Jurassic Park where he walks out and he goes, Jurassic Park 2, and he's like, Sarah Fielding. How many Sarahs do you think are lost on this island? And a last name's Fielding. But I just love that they put all the information, including the zip code, on those turkeys because they were so free range. Arizona was not specific enough. Narrow it down.
That's right.
There's so many free range turkeys. I need to know I need to know where you're chipped to. I can't tell from here.
Can you narrow it down to a zip code, please? No phone number? They should have a phone number.
Exactly. In case the turkey wants to phone home.
Right.
Now I kind of want to find out what the best turkey zip code is.
Phone home.
And get a turkey from that zip
But
code.
now that
Young's
Young's Farm is closed, I do not know, and maybe Laura can help us. I'm not sure where Arizonans go for good quality free range turkey.
That's what I'm saying. I want to know what the zip code is.
I don't know, but that just cracked me up every time I hear this.
You just keep sending more pictures.
And
that cracks me up.
And your people will be happy because now McDonald's has started.
What does it mean? Your people.
We eat there. You like it.
Some things.
But
McDonald's
now
eaters of the
the
world.
chicken nuggets are now free range and no more GMOs. That McDonald's has gotten rid of GMOs from their again, not because they're not selling you they're just we're good to the animals. Ask us. You know what I mean? Like they've just started this new
Our
campaign.
chickens live longer than any other chickens.
Whether it's
in the
bullshit,
fryer.
but I like that the campaigns for all these places are no longer about what they sell. They all have to be like, we're SeaWorld. We're evil, sure. But
look at all the good that we do.
Even Cruella de Vil got it better.
We're SeaWorld. Our water's clean.
D's nuts, yeah. D's nuts are clean. I just love these new ads where McDonald's is like, I know we're the evil empire and we don't pay anybody enough, but the chicken's fresh.
I think it's worth mentioning that they are testing round-the-clock McDonald's breakfast.
You mentioned that last week.
I think it's
sure
worth
did.
mentioning again.
Sure did.
You know how fucking excited I am.
You are, I guess.
To roll up to a 24-hour McDonald's and be like, can I have a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit at 3 o'clock in the
3
morning?
in the afternoon.
And have them say yes.
Yeah, well.
Now, I
Been here since 10:30.
I understood your story last week, but this week I thought somebody was going in and testing the chickens 24 hours for their GMOs.
Like they're going to be serving
I drink
muffins.
I may be drinking the lesbian Kool-Aid.
Sure.
I may have just gone accidentally
How is that
vegan.
the lesbian Kool-Aid?
I don't know. I'm just
understand.
trying to figure out what I could drink that could be lesbian Kool-Aid. That I was worried.
Miller Lite.
Lesbian.
Last week she had Miller Lite.
Let's be clear.
A fine
I ate
Pilsner
a chicken
beer.
quesadilla at a hospital cafeteria at 1 o'clock in the morning. That thing had more hormones in it
than you do.
Yeah, exactly.
There's that.
To keep me male.
All right, kids, we're going into the final
it's not
segment of the
working.
show. It's called Thoughtful Vulgarity, and it goes a
God
little
help
like
us.
this.
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
I don't talk till someone says good luck. I'm just saying. So we're gonna go back 3 years ago to our original question, which I may or may not remember.
Our first question?
I do. Oh wait. You didn't ask me to marry you, did you?
Why the hell would I ever do that?
I was just worried. Whenever I say I do, I just want to make sure. Can you repeat
Why would I have ever asked that?
I just wanted to make sure I didn't agree to something I was not following through
Well, I
on.
think I would have followed up in 3 years.
Yeah, I bet right now.
Well,
It's kind of
sure
like, will you help me
somebody
carry this? I don't want to say I do to that.
Yeah.
Ask the question again. Just to make
Light
sure.
as a feather. It's always the answer. Lying bitch.
Oh, you helping me carry something is perfectly appropriate.
Sure,
me helping you
me.
carry something's not going to happen.
No, I know my allies.
All right, so we're going to go all
I thought
pineapple
somebody
head.
would bring
What's-
cake, but they didn't.
I was in charge of champagne that I drank.
I brought pizza.
I was told to
She
bring
did.
umbrellas.
Well, put it on the pizza. It's still
There you go.
intact.
Who told what umbrellas?
100%
Because of-
intact.
Why umbrellas?
because of daiquiris.
Deck-wise. Oh!
Oh.
Well, first of all, original daiquiris are martini style, so no umbrella.
Why?
And second of all, it worked instead of shopping today.
All right, well, I will.
There's always next Tuesday.
No.
I'll try to be in charge of deck-wise.
Duckwis.
Hey, I don't drink a lot of carbonated shit, so
Here's-
the burps are not my fault.
Here's what you need. You need white rum, simple syrup, lime juice,
Ooh, and a white woman.
shake.
Oh,
We
And
have,
a white woman.
We have 3 here.
shake.
Sure.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. You're a man, darling.
I know. It's pointing at you 3.
There you go. That's good.
All right, Mariah,
Oh,
whatever
boy.
the Margaret.
Where am I?
Mahulahan. Where is she?
Mahulahan.
I can't see her from here.
Mahulahan. Wow.
Well, that's Margaret's last name, Houlihan.
I like it.
Yeah.
Mahulahan.
Hot lips.
Appreciate
Yeah, hot.
Mahulahan.
See, I even gave you a nickname.
Thanks.
Look at the generosity. So as you may remember from the first show, and those of you that were around since then, really get a life.
For the fucking
Well,
reggae.
and
It's been
that
3
means
years.
we
The
appreciate
quality
you.
ain't going up.
We're limboing our way through that podcast.
We're at the Wendy Wilson of this shit. What's her name?
Wendy
Carney.
Wilson.
Oh, good.
No,
The low talent
bar.
one.
Oh,
The low talent of that
Yeah.
crowd.
sure.
So we always bitch about people not knowing why there's pride and blah, blah, blah. 1,000 times over. So what are you proud of? What, in the immortal words of Pineapple Head, whose name, Heather Smalls, who sang What Have You Done Today to Make Yourself Proud, is the theme from Queer as Folk. Mm-hmm. So what is it that you're proud of? What are you most proud of in this, the opening salvo, if you will, of Pride 2000, the year of our Lord, let's say 15? How's my math?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Judge's rule? Yes. There's a lot of big words in a drunken sentence.
And they almost made sense. They're so close.
That this show aside, because of all of the
Always go for the
people-
easy mark first.
I'll
because
allow
of,
it, yeah.
Suck up to
because
that
of
one
all
first.
The oh no, I say aside because of all the people that we've lost.
Just Ryan Seacrest and
Oh no, I mean in
fucking
general.
Fikes.
In 3 years,
And,
we didn't always have a computer to write
mean,
on back in the day.
well, I used to write on paper. You want me to get
Sure,
it?
yeah. So
Remember when
I
A-
would have to say, trying to learn more, to be more emoji-esque.
So you want to be a big steaming pile of
Poo.
poo/ice cream.
No, but really trying to. I am proud of the show, Jenny. But trying to.
I thought she called you Mamie. She did say Marnie.
Yeah.
Because
Just
Mamie's
trying
my
to be
new
more
favorite.
not tolerant, because it's not the right word, but just more understanding
No,
of
we've
the
been
different-
tolerating each other for a long
a
time. You're good at
long
that.
fucking
Yeah.
time, yeah. But trying to understand different people in their daily lives. I mean, and the things that changes that people are going through, or whatever it might be, and that doesn't have to be about transgender or anything else, but just in general. I didn't understand what was it that Katie always called her sister?
Drunk?
Morgan.
Nope. Pansexual.
Pansexual.
Like pansexuality. Like these different things, and learning all these different terms and different things, and being like, what the fuck?
Oh, no, okay. You rambled a bit, but now I'm back on board. Now I know what you're talking about.
Well, I ramble all the time. I'm
So
Rose.
you're proud of your broadened horizons.
Proud of the broad I am is really what it is.
Yeah. No, now I get
Yeah.
you. Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you went a long time and didn't land on a pork roast. So what's it called? Chili cook-off.
I know I left that alone. I was trying to leave that alone.
Pork roast.
2004.
Wow.
3.
It sounds like a contest. It's a pork roast. No,
Chili
not so much.
cook-off.
D's nuts. No, I'll get you.
No,
All right.
No.
Maybe a written answer later to clarify
Maybe.
will help. But
It's fine. It's fine.
your moonshine and my champagne mixed up somewhere and made that make sense.
That's what I'm going to go with.
I feel like I'm saying the same thing, but in a maybe more direct, succinct way.
I can't imagine.
Any amount of words used fewer than she did, you got more succinct.
Okay, wait. So, Aaron, the question is like, we just had Pride here this week, and our opening week, our question was, instead of just bitching about how there's so many people wandering around Pride that don't understand like what the struggle was, what the fight is, and bitching about all that stuff, like just state, as Heather Smalls is singing behind us, like what have you done to make yourself proud? Like what are you proud of in this community, in this lifetime, in this wherever your circle is?
Sure.
Because I seem to have left the community for a good meal and a shift.
It's all right. I would say that I'm proud of being like actively part of the community. I mean, granted, I'm performing a very important service in that I'm putting vodka into a glass.
Can't think of a better one.
For the most part. But not only that, you know what, I do occasionally, show up to the volunteer thing, and I have not only the gay community, but my local community with, families and kids and everything. And I'm actually just really proud of the fact that I show up and I'm part of it, and I'm involved, because it's so easy to be at home and watch TV and mind your business and not.
You're out of words now.
Oh, look at bitchy.
I know, but mine are actually going somewhere in complete sentences. So
They're not free range words like you used.
Just keep sending pictures.
Just keep sending pictures.
No, it really is, and we see it more and more and more. And like I see it in my own neighborhood. Like I have neighbors I've never ever laid eyes on, literally next door to me. But I'm out in the community that I'm in, not my street, because fuck those bitches.
Fuck yeah.
If they won't, I'm not knocking on their door. But I'm out in the communities that I'm part of, and I'm visible, and I'm part of them, and, I'm just representing whatever it is that I represent, because God only knows sometimes it's handsome young men.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turns out I'm a handsome young man. But yeah, being part of, and not just sitting at home and minding my own business and only taking care of me.
Sure.
And,
Very good.
that's my answer.
Very good.
So,
Yeah.
There's that. I would echo the same sentiment you have. One of the things I'm very proud of, not only, 3 years this week we've done this show, and I mean, we didn't know what we were getting to when we started. Proud of that. I'm very proud of the fact that in the 20 plus years that I've been in this community, I have managed to make a name for myself as a trusted person, a go-to person for certain things, and people remember me for good things. Like if you've moved away for 10 years, I always get somebody who says, I can always, when I come to town, I can
Still
always
in that chair.
I can always count
Still
on you
sitting
being
on the
here.
patio at Charlie's.
or with the younger,
We peed on that.
or the younger ones who come back and they're like, I remember you when I first came out, and you were, it was comfortable because I knew you, and like you were funny, and I always knew that I could go to you or whatever.
Sure.
Any of that. It's just nice to know that I have a good name and a good reputation. I'm very proud of that. I've come from, a small town in Missouri, and I didn't know what the hell I was ever going to do, and here I come to a larger city, which a lot of people say is not a big city, but to me it's
Fifth largest in the country.
a perfectly sized city for what I need it for.
I keep it small by keeping it to 4 square blocks.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't go to the whole peripheral. No.
Yeah, no.
But no, I'm very proud of that. I think a lot of good things have come out. I mean, I've learned a lot. I've had my lessons and I've done my stupid stuff. But I think in general, it's all turning out okay. Again, haven't killed anybody yet, so I think that's a thumbs up.
There's still time.
No matter what color emoji it's going to be a
That's right.
thumbs up from me.
That's right.
Of any race.
I'm going to start using the vaguely tan ones.
Exactly.
Sure.
The vaguely ethnic.
Once you change them, I don't believe you can change them back.
That's good.
Perky.
Yeah, because once you go black.
You never go back.
I think mine as I get older is more about workplace. I've even in the most mundane of jobs, I have been out at the workplace to let people know you work with a gay person. And now, like last October when gay marriage was passed here, and there's a couple of people that I actually asked personal questions of. There's a gay couple across the way, Canadian Americans, that when gay marriage was passed, I was out of town, but they had a big party at work for these two women who were even though I had never heard them express a desire to be married, it was just assumed, like, marriage is legal, you've been together forever, you became American citizens together, marriage is the next step. And I got the text from everybody, like, what should we do? What should we do? What should we do? And I'm like, here's 2 out women, a couple, marriage has been legal, there's no one arguing about, like, pros or cons or Republican or Democrat. Like, this is legal, we have 2 friends. And I think that's a part of, like, the workplace thing, like, be out where you work. And one of the most
it breaks down a lot of barriers and fears, because they realize, the prejudice that's there, and then you realize I'm
right,
gay, and I do every fucking thing you do.
And then part 2 of that is always you have to be a little bit better at your job than everyone else does if you're going to play that card. Like, if you want to be out and proud, then make sure you're good at what you do.
Yeah, keep your shit together.
If you're a total cunt, being out and proud is a disservice to everyone involved.
Right.
But I have to tell you, I'll say this: one of my dearest friends, and I consider him like a younger brother. A couple years ago, he introduced me to his new love, and we were talking about marriage and everything. And he went from a job that he felt was very important for what it did. He's a pharmaceutical IT tech, and he worked at a job that he felt was important for what the company he worked for did. He thought it was an important thing to do. And then he had to change jobs because that company went one way, he went the other, things changed. And he had to take a new job, and in the interview, he said, Al would tell me that I have to be out to you. Like, I have a partner, we're engaged, we're going to be married. And he made it part of his interview. Like, if you have a problem with a gay employee that's about to marry another man, then we need to get that out of the way now. And he, like, presented that to me as, like, here's what I did today because of you telling me, like, you have to be out where you work. And I love that story. That
is a good story. By telling, did he really mean shrieking?
No, if you meet him,
he didn't say it like Al would say it.
Exactly, like most other people in my life. When you met them, you'd be like, "Really? You're friends with this one?"
You're so cute.
But it was very nice to hear that he made it a part of his interview. It's like, I have to tell you, like, I'm in a relationship with a man, and we're about to be married. So make your peace with God. He's in Massachusetts, which is the first state to do it. So it really was. No, he's in Connecticut now. But I mean, it was a big deal to me that I was the inspiration for that. Like, that was.
2 things. Did he get the job?
Of course he did. Sure. He's very good at what he does. Because, again, you have to be very good at what you do to be an asshole.
Well, for sure.
Or
was he happy that he did it?
Very happy.
Good.
Because he's about to be married, and that has to come. That has to come.
Pain in the ass to hide that.
Sure. Yeah.
Right, and I'm gonna bring. And one of his things was, I'm gonna bring a significant other around to events.
To the Christmas party.
To the Christmas party, and you will address him as not my friend, but this is my
husband, boyfriend, whatever.
Right, and now it can be husband. Because I swear to God, we could not get off that partner word fast the fuck enough.
Yeah.
Because your cop story, when you said his partner suggested he's spray paint his hair pink, I'm like, are they lovers?
No, just
when you hear partner, it's a euphemism now for something awful. Oh, a candle.
Alrighty, kids, we are celebrating 3 years this week of the show. Thank you all for being with us and joining us, because it's really, really nice to be with you every week as we do from Studio C. We'll be here every week as long as you let us. We will leave you with our parting words of, we will see you next Tuesday!
Thank you!
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.